Attached to the floor are many colors of plastic tape. Red, blue, and green. They led the way to various departments. Out of those, they followed those white tape. Glad you like it. I was combining yandere themes with your references. I mean, blood looks so artistic and stuff. I know, thank you. I love it too. Walking about 30 meters on the right, the shop comes into sight. Across from that was the smoking room. Wait, let me see. Oh wait, aren't we on Narcissu too? Did we do this last one? What game is this? I can't remember if we... Is it Yuri? I thought it was Yuri, but apparently it's about kids who die, who are sick. Occasionally strong gusts of wind would sway the pine groves and the sound of waves calmly reverberated. But there's nothing besides this here. Oh wait, no, I think we played this. I think we're on Narcissu too. I think. Prologue sets me. Oh, okay, it was where. Oh, it's a dark story then, even better. Yeah, it definitely is. In front of the outpatient reception desk on the first floor, attached to the... Okay, so it's where we... Okay, yeah. It was right here. Across from that was the smoking room. On the left is the waiting room for surgical examination. If you continue to the end, there is a small elevator. I get on that and press the button for the highest floor. The 7th floor. Before my eyes was the nurses' station. Altogether, the numbers of nurses looked this way, but once they recognized me, their eyes turned back. As they saw nothing, they returned to their work. High ceilings, windows that only opened 15 centimeters. This was a white, well-lit, sterile place. And I head towards the lounge at the end of the hall on the left. A large television, a long couch. Decorating the windowsills were a number of flowers. Budding the summer, the mini sunflowers in the vases, and the gerbera daisies in the flower pots were blooming colorfully. Those were all familiar things. How many years has it been since I've come here? What's different from then were my clothes, changing from sailor uniforms to pajamas. Besides that, the bracelet on my hand, from blue to white, was just about the only other change. You. Turning back towards the voice that called, it was a middle-aged lady. Her pajamas and bracelet color said she was a resident of this place. Are you visiting someone or a patient from another floor? That's not it. While shaking my head, I show my own bracelet. Ah, I see. The lady replied uncomfortably. I felt the nuance behind those words. And so young, what a shame. Of course, I've had similar experiences so often it was tiring. I haven't lived almost 10 years like this for nothing. It was just, I never thought I'd have to have a fellow resident of the 7th floor also turn eyes of pity towards me. By the way, which time are you on? What's this? We're here coming to the 7th floor. Ernest and I had no idea what she was asking, but before I could ask a new question, looks like this is your first. That she just up and acted like she understood the situation. Well, then I'll teach you, so listen carefully, okay? First, this place is called the 7th floor. Eventually, though I hadn't replied, the lady just continued speaking. No, there's no 4th time. The 3rd time you're admitted is the last, so prepare yourself. When you want to run away, head to, not to Station A, but Station B. Don't eat anything. It places the least burden upon your family. She spoke about such things, and I was made to hear other things that would give one pause. Most likely it was something only the residents of the 7th floor, only things those who were headed towards death continued passing on. So you understand? So lady went through her whole explanation. Somehow I thought her complexion looked better. Ew, to tell someone young like you it's upsetting. This is also a rule, so don't be angry, okay? That the lady left the lounge. Her parting words were, you tell new people too, okay? Brighting sunlight and the sound of cicadas. Summer sky seen from windows that can't open more than 15 centimeters. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. Many years since I've come to the 7th floor, the first that I've come as a resident of this place. One sec, let me turn my hair on really quick. Okay, sorry. In practice, they were probably passed down only through those who passed here. But a number of them I had already known. Maybe it was since that day, the fact that I would face a day like today.
予感していたのかもしれない。響き渡る鐘の音、物心つく前から私はこの音と共にあった。お姉ちゃん何よ千尋、そんなに息切らせて。だってほら、そろそろ急がないと。ってまたそんな格好して。あ、どうかした？もうドロドロで真っ黒じゃないの。別にいいでしょ。作業服なんだから汚れて当然じゃない。昨日洗濯したところなのに。はいはい、悪かったわね。
My little sister gave the usual grease stains a sulking look as she complained. It was the scene of a casual everyday exchange before the door on a Sunday.
あ、それよりもミサ、急がないと遅れちゃうよ。あら、もうそんな時間なのね。ささ、早く着替えて教会行きましょうね。やっぱりパス。また？ダメだよ。お姉ちゃんって普段から行ってないんだから。せめて日曜日だけは行かないと。バカね千尋、せっかくの日曜日だからこそサボるのよ。もうまたそんなへりくつ言って。まあまあ、神様だって多めに見てくれるわよ。天気関係ないわよ。それにどうせ今日も車いじりしてるだけのくせに。それじゃお母さんたちにもよろしくね。あ、こらお姉ちゃんたら。
In the garage next to the house, I strongly raised the shutters.
さて、今日も始めましょうか。
Perhaps because it was closed off, the garage was sitting stiflingly hot. Immediately, I turned towards my beloved car under maintenance, purchased just a month earlier. Is this at the beginning? This is the beginning of the second part of this story. So I think it is, yeah, like the beginning of a new story. One might call it a restoration, but really, it was work to simply get to run properly. Are you gonna stream tonight, Gemmo? I can raid you after this if you are. First, instead of calling Chase's retro, the word scrap would fit better. Such was the age and condition of the car. Gonna dip for today. The model's looking good. Definitely been great for Danganronpa Angels of Death. Yeah! For real. Thanks for being here, Felix. Have a great day. However, thanks to that, lately I've been spending the weekends inside this garage.
Himeko! Iru?
Oh, now sadly I gotta work early, but thank you so much for the kind thought. Oh, okay, I totally understand. Well, I'll look out in the future if you are.
どうしたの？こんな場所まで。近くまで来たからついでに寄ったんだけどさ。って何あなた、真っ黒じゃないの。ああ、昨日からオイルパンの交換やってたから。オイルパン？これがまた大変だったのよ。っていうか素人でここまでできる人は少ないわね。いや、パンだかご飯だか知らないけどさ。
I'll try and raid you too when I see you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
ほら見て、この自作ハンガーなんて大したもんでしょ。でもやっぱウィンチがないから苦労したわ。あのさ、姫子、車好きもいいけどさ、年頃の娘が真っ黒になってガレージに入り浸ってるってどうよ。 もしかして変？
もしかしなくても変。
まあいいじゃない。私はね、ゆかみたいなヒラヒラの服よりこっちの方が好きなのよ。
はいはい、あんたは昔っからそうよね。
She replied in a weary voice. Her name was Yuka. She lived nearby, and since long ago we often spent time together. However, our interests and personalities were polar opposites, and yet we got along for some reason. It might have been exactly because our interests and personalities were different that we got along.
もし親友と呼ばれる存在があるなら、私にとっては彼女がそれだった。
でもさ、姫子も物好きよね。せっかくの初任給をこんなボロ車に使うなんてさ。
ほら、ボロ車じゃなくてユーノスって言ってよ。それにこの方って古くても結構人気あるのよ。
へえ、そうなの？
おかげで今から冬のボーナスまでローン地獄よ。
まあまあ、それよりも早く直して
おそらく来週には走れると思うわ。
はい、決まり。じゃあ早速来週でも。ってそうだ、あなた日曜日は無理だったわね。
ああ、別にいいわよ。
でも教会あるでしょ。
大丈夫よ、もう最近は全然行ってないし。所詮私はエセカトリックよ。
こらこら、そんなこと言っていいの？
ええ、偶然家が教会の隣だったってだけだし。
ただいま。
おかえり。遅かったわね、千尋。元気ないみたいだけど、もしかして7回帰り？
担当の人が3回目だから。
そっか。じゃあいろいろと大変だね。
7th floor, that is the hospital's hospice. Hospice, generally known as the palliative care ward. Essentially not a normal ward, but one for patients and their final treatment options. A ward with mental care as primary focus. For us as Catholics, volunteering as helpers has been very natural. Every day after college, my sister would head straight to the hospital. And I could see myself up to a few years ago.
はい、コーヒー入れてあげたわよ。
ありがとう。ねえ、お姉ちゃんはもうしないの？
しないのって？
今はどの病院も人手が足らなくて大変なんだよ。
そう。でも私はもういいわ。あなたと違って私は大学の単位が欲しくて言ってただけだし。
もうまたそんなこと言って。
別に嘘じゃないわよ。それよりさ、私は千尋の方が心配よ。
私が？
ええ。あなたみたいな子に務まる場所じゃないってこと。
My sister fell silent at those words, but those were also my honest feelings. In a way, I knew from my own experiences how useless superficial resolve was. At least for a kind, good girl like Chihiro, I knew that it would be painful to be a hospice helper.
で、どうなの？今の様子は。
初めての7階だからまだ慣れてなくて。それに今の担当の人って3回目だからもう長くないみたい。
そうね。どんなに入退院を繰り返したとしても4回目はないはずよ。
That wasn't something that the hospital publicly said. However, even without saying you were involved with the place, you'd learn it whether you liked it or not.
ねえ、お姉ちゃん、神様は一体何をやっているんだろう。
さあ、忙しいんでしょうね。
A few days later, with the main repairs on the Unos finished, we went out for a drive.
さすがにいい走りするわ。
ちょっと姫子、そんなにスピード出さないでよ。
全然安全運転じゃない。
あなたはそうかもしれないけど、ペーパーの私にはドキドキもんなのよ、その運転は。
ロードスター最高。 話よ。それとさ、何よこの車。
どうしたの？
なんで屋根がないのよ。
いや、だってそういうもんなんだもん。
じゃないわよ。風で髪がくしゃくしゃになっちゃったでしょ。
おバカさんね。オープンの醍醐味がわからないなんて。
そんな醍醐味年頃の女の子に不要よ。せっかく1時間もかけておしゃれにセットしたのに。
The sun was still high and the Yunos ran under the refreshing cool of the sky before the rainy season. Soon after leaving the long mountain road, a deep blue sky spread wide. The sea road continued endlessly. From nearby came the crashing waves and seagull calls. Even the phoenix palms planted by the beach houses, each and every one was tall. It felt like visiting southern lands.
じゃあちょっと休憩しようか。はい、缶コーヒー。
ありがとう。
As she had just gotten out of the bath, Yuko had her hand out on her hip and gulped down the canned coffee in one go. She was always decked out in frills, but what shows through the occasional was Yuko's true personality. And then, while holding out our cans of coffee, we walked out to the beach before us.
ここは綺麗なところだね。
潮風も気持ちいいし。
姫子、よく知ってたわね、こんな場所。
どこか知らないけど。
はい？
言葉の通りなんだけど。
ちょっと待ちなさい。どうして運転してたあなたが知らないのよ。
実は適当に走ってたら偶然たどり着いただけだったりして。
それって今まで気の向くままに走ってただけってこと？
そんな感じかな。
信じらんない。つかちゃんと家まで帰れるかも心配だけど、こんなドライブに一日付き合わされた私も信じらんない。
まあなんとかなるから。
We then spread out some newspaper on the beach and started to eat the lunch we bought at a convenience store along the way. To be honest, bringing our own lunches would have fit the ideal better, but both of our best dishes, hard-boiled eggs, couldn't be called extravagant. At the very least, we should have brought a sheet.
でもさ、姫子、
何？
ナビがないならせめて地図くらい持ちなさいよね。
でもな、この気ままな感じも好きなのよね。
じゃあせめてその格好はやめなさいよ。
なんでよ。
ダメ。隣の私もなんか恥ずかしいから。
機能的なのにな。
機能よりも美しさを優先してよ。
While we chatted, the two of us continued to eat our lunches. Pines swayed in the salt breeze, and the large phoenix palms stood tall. Occasionally, seagulls came near. Though it was such an utterly perfect place, how should I say, the image of newspaper mats, Yuka's frilly clothing, my work overalls, it was so out of place it was laughable.
ねえ、また来週来ようか。
嫌よ。
即答された。
だってさ、何が悲しくて毎週女二人でドライブばっかなのよ。
だってこれ二人乗りなんだもん。
そういう問題じゃないでしょ。
まあ寂しいもん同士ってことで。
悔しいけど反論できないわ。
Around when the sun that had been so high was hazing over and everything that could be seen was dyed orange. Once again the Yunos drove on. We had played at the beach and now took up a quick route home. Today had been a fun day. While thinking that, I gripped the wheel.
でもさ、最近あなたって全然行ってないでしょ。千尋ちゃんもぼやいてたわよ。最近お姉ちゃんは全然来てくれないって。ねえ、たまには顔出したら？
大丈夫よ。それに以前も言ったでしょ。所詮私はエセカトリックだって。だから
大丈夫なのよ。
姫子？
さて、そんなわけで来週もドライブ決定ね。ああ、今度はお弁当も持ってこようか。そんで今日よりも遠くを目指してみましょうよ。
はいはい、分かったわよ。しょうがないから付き合ってあげる。
ありがとう。さすが親友ね。それから1週間後、教会には日曜学校へと向かう人があふれ、先週の予定ではロードスターで海へと向かっているはずだった私の姿は病院のベッドの上にあっ
はい、お姉ちゃん、リンゴ剥いたよ。
た。ありがとう。あんたも食べなさいよ。好きでしょ？
重かった。姫子、ほら、買ってきてあげたわよ。
悪かったわね。下の売店じゃ売ってなかったのよ、その本。
別に構わないけどさ、次からはもうちょっと薄い本にしてくれる？それと、あんまりマニアックな本はやめてよね。レジ持っていくのはずいから。
別にモーターサイクリストやアメ車マガジンは普通の本だと思うけど。
私にとっては違うの。まあ二人とも、ここは相部屋だからあんまり騒いじゃダメだって。ああ、そうだったわね。ごめん。
To people who came to visit me, nothing need be said about Chihiro. But even looking like this, you could have been the first to rush over. Even before, when I'd be in bed with a cold, complaining all the while, she'd be at my side, taking care of me. She wasn't the most true to herself, but really was very kind. That was my best friend.
美味しいわね、このメロン。
ちょっと、あんた見舞いなんだからそんなガツガツ食べないでよ。
別にいいじゃない、いっぱいあるんだし。でもさ、いきなり入院って聞いた時は驚いたわよ。私もびっくりした。なのに急いで駆けつけて。
ピンピンしてて拍子抜けよね。
こら、あんたが言わないでよ。
だってみんなそんな顔してるんだもん。
そういえば千尋ちゃん、他の人は？会社の人とかたくさん来てたんだけど、さっき帰っちゃった。
ちなみに手ぶらで見舞いに来たのはあなただけよ。
うるさいわね。変な本買ってきてあげたでしょうが。
あれはちゃんと代金渡したからお使いであって、お見舞いの差し入れとは言えないわね。
相変わらずへりくつを。
でもね、やっぱ嬉しいもんよ。毎日会っているような相手でもこうやってお見舞いに来てくれるとさ。
メロンも持ってきてもらえるしね。
たまには病気も悪くないかな。それから数ヶ月、気の早いセミが鳴く頃、春には毎日のように来ていたお見舞いの人がほとんど姿を見せなくなった頃、相変わらず私は病院のベッドの上にいた。
今日も暑いな。お姉ちゃん、もう食べ終わった？そろそろトレイを返す時間なんだけど。
私こういうの苦手なのよね。
あ、またブロッコリー残してるし。
千尋、それより売店でアイス買ってきてよ。
ダメだよ。決められたもの以外は控えなさいって言われてるんだから。
まあまあ、固いこと言わないでよ。
ダメ。それでなくてもこの前先生に注意されたところなのに。
はーい、わかりました。
もう返事だけはいいんだから。いいこと、お姉ちゃん。また勝手に売店で買ってきちゃダメだからね。
わかってるって。
それじゃあ私そろそろ行くね。
もしかして。
うん。
そっか、あなたも無理しないようにね。
お姉ちゃんもね。
あんなに長かった夏が終わりを告げ、夕空に日暮の声が響く頃、
Oh my god, Higurashi reference?
今も私はここにいた。 今日も彼女はこの場所に来ていた。
入るわよ。よっ、元気そうね。
おかげさまでね。
よいしょっと。
あら、お見舞いの品は？
はあ？
相変わらず手ぶらのようだけど。
なーに言ってるの、当然じゃない。むしろ毎日来てる私を褒めてほしいわ。
えらいえらい、なでなで。
もうやめなさい。
じゃあね、メロン持ってきてくれたら解禁賞あげるわ。
いらないわよ。
We had a childish conversation as she sat in the folding chair next to the bed. The scene itself by now is becoming a familiar one.
はあ、せっかくの日曜なのにな。
悪いわね、ゆか。
え？
この夏を無駄にさせちゃってさ。
別にいいわよ。もともと予定があったわけでもないし、いつもついでできてるだけなんだし。そのもうさっさと元気になりなさいよ。またドライブでも何でも付き合ってあげるから。だから
それ以上彼女の声は私の耳に届かなかった。暮れる空に響く日暮らしに消されて聞こえなかった。ここに来てはや突然のことに自分自身まだ現実ってのが。
There we go. Prologue would go Himiko 1.
響き渡る鐘の音。気づけば木々の色が赤く染まり、病院での生活もすっかり慣れた頃、私を訪ねてくる人は完全に途絶えても、今も私はここにいた。今日もあの二人はこの場所に来ていた。
はい、お姉ちゃん、今日はプリン付きだよ。
そう。でも今は欲しくない。千尋、あんた食べなさいよ。プリン好きでしょ？
ダメ、これはお姉ちゃんの食事なんだから自分でちゃんと食べないと。
じゃあこれ食べたら売店で肉まん買ってきてくれる？
もう変な交換条件出さないでよ。よ、元気そうね。あ、ゆかさん。何？今日もまた好き嫌いでダダこねてるの？うん、お姉ちゃんたらしょうがないのよ。こら、あら、千尋ちゃん困らせるんじゃないわよ。ったく、あんただけはしょうがないわね。
トレーの角で叩かなくても。
ほら、さっさと食べる。無理やり口ん中に入れちゃうわよ。
分かったって。さっきのも冗談で言っただけなんだから。
まだなんか言ってるのはこの口か。
こらやめなさいって。
じゃあお姉ちゃん、私そろそろ時間。
先生たちにもよろしく。
千尋ちゃん、まだ続けてるんだ。
ええ、今7階担当だから。
そっか。確か
I nodded a bit at those words, and then I finally brought up what had to be in a corner of my heart for a while now. Because she was who she was, I wanted to tell her
ね
first.
えゆか、もしもいつか私も。
ちょっと、何縁起でもないこと言ってんのよ。
もし私がもうお見舞いには来ないでね。
With those words, Yuka hung her head. Even for me, I don't want to see her sad face either. But it really came to be that I were to go to the 7th floor. She'd only get more and more sad. To see Yuka that way was the only thing I couldn't bear.
バカ！何言ってるのよ！むしろ毎日でも言ってやるわ！皆勤賞ものよ！もちろん手ぶらでお見舞いなんて絶対に持っていかないんだからだからそんなことゆか
In the small room, her sobs hung in the air. All the years we've been together. When, however, much we've chatted and all night, we had never run out of things to talk about. But for the girl crying right now, I could find no words.
吹く風が心地よいから冷たいへと変わる頃、いつものようにここへとやってくる二人でも、ある日を境に少し変わった。ごちそうさま。あ、ちゃんとブロッコリーも食べたんだね。ああ、本当は嫌いなんだけど。ねえ、他に何か欲しいものない？売店のアイスが欲しいわね。ついでに肉まんも欲しかったりして。分かった、すぐ買ってくる。冗談のつもりだったのに、今までどんなに頼んでもダメだったのに。
Mom's trying to treat her differently.
はい。ほら、まだ温かいから美味しいよ。アイスは冷蔵庫に名前書いて入れておいたから。そう。他にも欲しいものあったら言ってね。それで早く元気になって、また一緒に教会行こうね。千尋、あなた口調がヘルパーになってるわよ。どうやらそういうことのようね。別にそんな。隠さなくていいわ。私だって伊達にやってなかったんだから。お姉ちゃん、さすがに半年以上入院してたから、そろそろかなって思ってたしね。驚き、悲しみ、怒り、やるせない、寂しい。もしこの時の感情を一言で表すなら、よくわからないが、人は受け入れがたい現実に出会った時、自分自身のことですら客観視できるのかもしれない。冬の冷たい風が吹き、テレビにクリスマスソングが流れ出す頃、こんな時にもずっとそばにいてくれる二人。まだ私自身告知されていないけど、7階へと行く日はそう遠くないのだろう。
メリークリスマス！
はいはい、メリークリスマス。ほらお姉ちゃん、ケーキ買ってきたよ。
あら、美味しそうね。って何いきなり食べてるのよ。もういいじゃないよ、いっぱいあるんだから。こら、当然のようにイチゴ取るんじゃないわよ。
ちょっとゆかさん、ちゃんと皿に分けるから。
は
美味しかったね。
そうね、ほとんどゆかが一人で食べ尽くしたけど。何よ、今日みたいな日にまで来たんだから、これくらいいいでしょ。本当なら今頃は素敵なイブを満喫してる頃なのに。
嘘ばっかり。どうせ相手なんていない。
悔しいけど反論できないわ。
あと お姉ちゃんこれクリスマスプレゼント。マフラー編んでみたの。あんまりうまくない。
ありがとうね。ほんと姫子にはもったいないよくできた妹よね。うるさいわね。相変わらず手ぶらのあんたが何言ってるのよ。
まあ二人とも。
A common everyday exchange, a kind sister, a best friend with a mouth, laughing over silly things, the picture of many normal days that had passed over the years. The difference was that today was Christmas, and this is the hospital's 5th floor. And soon I will be headed to the 7th.
じゃあさ、ついでにもう一つ欲しいものがあるんだけど、いいかな？
何？
ユーノス持ってきて。車庫にあると思うから。
でもお姉ちゃん。
悪いわね。どうしても乗りたいのよ。
Opening the curtains, I gazed out at the city night from the 5th floor window. In that clear winter sky, even the large face of the moon shone. And soon this view, I'll probably see it from a higher place. I'll probably be gazing from a window that can only open 15 centimeters.
いいわよ。持ってきてあげる。
ゆかさん。
さすが親友ね。クリスマスくらい手ぶらじゃ悪いと思っただけ。じゃあ行くわよ。ええ。ねえ、寒くない？激寒よ。そう。やっぱりこの季節は向いてないわね。
I just want to see, oh, never mind. Okay, I just wanted to see if there was any new ones, sorry.
バカ。乗る前に気づきなさいよ。まあそうよね。
Good night. Oh, I'm gonna have to sleep. Have a good one. Have a good one, Gemma. Sorry if I missed it or I was too late. Have a great night. Thanks for being here.
ゆか、前の場所に行きたいんだけどさ。あの海？うん。でも自信ないよ。ナビも地図もないし。別にいいわよ。好きなように走りなさい。クリスマスの夜は長いんだからさ。そうね。分かったわ。名も知れぬ道を走るロードスター。
Actually, I am gonna save here. The roadster drove along the roads with unknown names.
暗い夜空が少しずつ白み出す頃、あの海へと向かっていた。どうしてこんなことをしたくなったんだろうか。その厳密な理由は自分でもわからなかった。
The crashing of waves could be heard. Unchanged from that spring day, the phoenix palm stood tall. And just when the dark night gave way to the dawn, before we knew it, we arrived at that place. Click, slam.
着いたわね。うん。ほんと。よく無事に着いたもんね。どう？悪くないでしょう。私の運転もこの車も。まあ。
You're me.
Samuel.
I am strange. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Sorry, but I have to go. I was watching K-drama and it's on a good part, so I totally understand, Anya. I hope you have a great time watching it. No problem at all. Never feel pressured to stay here for a long time. I'm happy just to see you guys at all. And even if you can't drop in, that's okay too. So thanks for being here, Anya.
そうだ。缶ジュース買ってきてあげる。
Clink, clink. Ka-thunk. Yeah, so I have a I have a new maid model, and I also have a new angel model, and it's not ready yet, but there will be a Yakuza model coming, and I think you'll really like that one. It's very pretty.
すごい暑いわね、この自販機。姫子、あんたコーヒーでよかったっけ？
That's fast work. I know, right? I was, it happened right before I streamed yesterday. I was in Gemma's stream and we were doing it together. Well, she was just asking for my opinions, and I was like, oh, I like this, I don't like this. And because she wanted to do it, and it was so sweet of her. Ooh, and also, in other news, me and Gemma will be playing The Letter soon. We just have to decide on a schedule. But me and Gemma will be playing The Letter, so that's gonna be so fun, because Gemma is such a fun person. She's very reactive, she's very like la 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 la, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be so fun, guys.
じゃあミルクティーにする？
Oh yeah, also, due to some personal circumstances, some stuff came up, so me and Tinny aren't going to be able to stream Higurashi on Sunday, but we'll stream as soon as we can. But this game looks tight. Yeah, I like this game.
もう早く決めてよ。120円とはいえ私がおごるなんてめったにないんだからさ。ほら、何でもいいから欲しいの言ってよ。
Oh, were you talking about The Letter Strange? Either way, I'm excited for both games.
何でも。
Yeah, The
地
Letter.
図
Oh,
が
yeah.
欲しいかも。
Yeah, Gemma was really interested. I gave Gemma a whole list of
地図ってあの地図のこと？
of games to play, and that's the one she picked. I thought this game was short. Yeah, this game is short. We're on the second part already. Narcissu, I mean, yeah, we're trying to finish it up.
代わりにユーノスあげるから
After this, I'll try and finish up some Angels of Death.
大切にしてね。
Ooh.
バカ！そんな悲しいこと急に言わないでよ。
あのね、
Oh,
どうやら私
not the 7th floor.
7階行きみたいなんだ。もしかして
Let me try
罰
my
が当たっ
arrow
たのかも
actually.
しれないね。だからさ、
無理だよ。
それでね、ゆか、もうお
Oh.
見舞いには来ないでほしいの。あなたがそんな顔すると私も辛いから。
God, I mean, imagine your bestie is about to be transferred into the unit, the hospice of the hospital. That's what it's called, a hospice. You know, the place where you gotta die. I mean, Jesus. It's so sad.
響き渡る鐘の音。教会に日曜学校へと向かう人があふれ、冬の寒さが本格的になった日、私の手首に巻いた腕輪は青から白へと変わった。結局ユーノスは受け取ってもらえなかったけど、翌日私の手元には地図が届いた。どうして
Oh, this is us.
こんなものを欲しがったのか。やはりその厳密な理由は自分でもわからなかった。ただそれ以来彼女と会うことはなかった。彼女の皆勤賞はそこで止まった。 眩しかった日のこと。そんな夏の日のこと。
It sounds like the girl we know from the 7th ward. Excuse me, sorry. Icky, icky. Burning sunlight and the sound of cicadas. Oh my, I know. I'd be coughing. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. The 3rd summer that I've faced since the day I was first hospitalized. Of course, it's not like I was hospitalized the whole time. There were days interrupted with home and outpatient care.
半年前だろうか。最後に来てくれたのは。
Time I spent wearing pajamas slowly grew, and as if in direct proportion, the number of people who came to visit me shrank. At first, classmates came to visit me every day, people that were once called friends. But now they had turned into acquaintances. Even if I meet them on the street, they'd leave after exchanging a few words of greeting. Soon those acquaintances will turn to strangers, while someday I'll probably be erased from their memories.
どうやらいい気がしないのだろう。普通に生きてる人にとって私の存在ってのは。
And that just sucks. It shouldn't make you uncomfortable. It should be there for them. Even if they meet me, it probably doesn't raise their spirits. The same probably goes for thinking about me. No.
だから消すことにしたのだと思う。
Despite that, whenever the end of school day came, every day, I continued to watch for someone to come. And then after half a year waiting, I stopped looking outside. It's probably even more brutal in Japan too. Well, why do you think it'd be more brutal in Japan? I'm just curious. I'm not like judging. I'm just like, what? Finally, I learned to close the curtains, accepted the fact, guessed at the reason.
3年もかけて私にもわかるようになった。
Oh, poor thing. It's not that they had forgotten about me. Seems they made as if, from the start, they never knew me, never saw me. As if there had been nothing there to begin with.
彼らもまた目をつぶっていたいのかもしれない。
So now that I was being admitted in and around the hospital, when people had already stopped coming to visit me, and I had most likely been erased from everyone's memories. Because I think there's a lot of help for people. There isn't a lot of help for people in need there. I just read about this murderer who killed a bunch of disabled people because they were disabled. That is horrible. Why would you do that? That's so sad. I mean, like, it's already hard enough to be disabled. Never mind how everyone treats you like you're a deformity or alien. It's horrible. People can be so cruel. People have such a lack of empathy sometimes because it's all about them and how they feel. And, oh, well, you make me uncomfortable, so I'm not gonna... Like, are you kidding me? Imagine how the person with the disability feels. I'm making you uncomfortable? For fuck's sake. My family moved from the freestanding home we had long lived in to an apartment. Yeah, it's just... Well, you know how I am strange. You know how I feel about that stuff. And Mother started working part-time in a nearby takeout shop. The meaning behind it all, even I could understand. Hospital fees were no joke. Damn, even in Japan apparently they're no joke. In the ward every day, it was a conversational topic for the patients. I came to know how the patients themselves felt the responsibility to their families, far more than the families can imagine. And then the small, old, slightly dirty wooden building that was our new home. Tough of being smaller, Father's daily commute stretched over 2 hours. However, the distance I had to take to the hospital became a 3-minute walk. In front of that beat-up, cramped apartment, Father said, "The air here is nice and feels good, doesn't it?" Saying that, he smiled, and Mother smiled in the same way. Because the heat might aggravate my health, they put an air conditioner in my room. Of course, no other room had one. And Mother, who had started going to that part-time job, often brought back croquets and fries for me, saying they were leftovers. In the cramped room we ate together. Always they smiled happily. It was very painful. Their thoughtfulness was unbearably painful. Instead of feeling thankful or happy, I was filled with guilt. Oh. I can't directly relate to this, but I can relate to feeling immense guilt. Because when my mom died and I was in a really dark place, I wasn't able to go to school or work or do anything because I was so suicidal. And my grandparents were always there to help me, and so they helped me with rent and stuff, and it made me feel just insanely guilty. And I'm trying to work on that because I know that they do it because they love me and they want me to be okay, and they tell me not to feel guilty, so I shouldn't. But it's just like, it's really hard sometimes. Cool grandparents. Yeah, I'm insanely lucky. I'm one of the luckiest people alive. My grandparents are very sweet, and they're very, my grandmother is extremely religious. She's a treasurer at her church, so she's like involved in stuff, but she's very open-minded. She didn't used to be, but over the years she's gotten extremely open-minded, and I can talk to her about stuff. When I talk to my grandparents about issues and stuff, they listen to me, they believe me, they don't question me, they don't say, but on Fox News it said this, and listen, they're like, oh, I didn't know that, thank you for letting me know, thank you for educating me. Like my grandma, she used to think, like, when my mom got a tattoo on her ankle after she got cancer the first time. It was the Chinese character for courage. And my grandmother didn't speak to my mom for months because she was so angry. And then juxtaposition that to years later, when I got my first ever tattoo I ever got was a cross on my finger for my grandma, because I know how important that is to her. I'm not religious, but she is. And when I showed her, I was nervous. I was like, I have no idea how she's gonna react. And you know what she said? She was like, this is so amazing, Bunny. This is so amazing, Bunny. I love this, like, you know, like, that's so cool. And I was like, who the fuck are you? Who replaced my grandma? Like, when I used to dye I've dyed my hair all sorts of colors my whole life. When I used to dye it when I was younger, my grandma would be like, oh, this is just ridiculous. Why can't you go natural? You look much more beautiful like that. Or when I'd wear skulls on my dresses because I was really emo, she'd be like, why don't you just wear flowers or something normal? You know, she'd do stuff like that. Or, I'd be like, I really want this piercing, and then she'd be like, oh, that's just, you're just gonna look like a hooligan if you do that. But then, years and years later, I was talking to my grandma, and I was like, why is any piercing different than your ears? What's so special about your ears? And she was like, you're absolutely right. There's nothing different. It's just a different style of look. And I was like, damn right, Nona! Damn right, Nona. And now she likes my hair when I dye it different colors too. She's like, oh, the pink looks very pretty. So I love my grandparents, and I'm really lucky to have them. Sorry for the tangent. It's your fault.
きっとそう言って欲しかったのかもしれない。
No, that's cool. My mom used to work at her church too. The pastor was stealing everything. I think he got in trouble for using church funds on a pool or something. Okay, that is the most typical church story I think I've ever heard in my life. Because that is not an odd story. That happens all the time. I mean, I don't know about the pool specifically, but like, it's insane how corrupt shit can get. I feel bad that your mom got stuck in it, but I hope she was all good and, away from the drama. I wanted them to blame me more. Being treated kindly here. Are you close with your mama, Strange? I remembered uncontrollable feelings of irritation, even anger towards myself. If God were around, I wanted him to quickly heal me, or if that was impossible, to let me die now. Yup. Oh, good. Now she's just like, this pastor, I don't know about this guy. That's so funny. She seems like a really sweet person, like very innocent. You know what I mean? Like, this pastor, I don't know about this guy. Everyone else was in the midst of erasing my existence. I'm glad you're close with your mama, Strange. You know I was super close with mine before she passed. But in contrast, my parents sought to make me stand out. That was much more painful. Even as I was being treated kindly, I hated myself for being unable to repay it. I really relate to that. It's just, you know, it's hard enough just to hate yourself sometimes. But then when people are nice to you and you feel like you don't deserve it, the way your brain can just make you feel immense guilt for it is insane. I curse the fact that one of the countless misfortunes in the world happened to fall on me by chance. In such times, smiling and putting on a cheerful air may have been what I was supposed to do. But all I was able to manage was to quietly eat the fries that I really didn't like very much. The burning sun and cries of cicadas. When the white rainy season clouds cleared and it had turned completely into summer after being readmitted to the hospital for the nth time, finally I was discharged. Oh yeah, that makes me cry. Yeah. Unfortunately, mental illness can make your brain do really messed up things. Like Ko from Blue Spring Ride gets a little bit of warmth and you can't help it. Yeah, I'm so glad you watched that, Strange. Isn't it a cute anime like I told you? The word discharged also meant, until the next time I was admitted, the beginning of a long life of outpatient care. It was cute, right? I love the goofy faces. I'm glad. Under the blazing sky today, I walked the 3 minutes distance in my pajamas. To my mother, who had offered to come along, I replied, "It's alright." In my own way, it was supposed to be out of consideration for her, but the desolate look on her face at my words had also hurt. My feet happened to stop before some school. Most likely it was an elementary school, since it was already summer vacation. There weren't many people around in sight. In front of that empty schoolyard, for some reason, I wound up gazing at it. Without thinking, my feet had stopped. Occasionally, I'd see happy children running around, and my eyes would follow them. Under the blazing sky, the long-sleeve pajamas were hot. I felt strongly out of place gazing at the schoolyard. After standing there for a while, I once again began to walk. However, it wasn't towards the hospital, but home. And once I returned to my room, I took out the sailor uniform that had been in my dresser. Sleeves that I hadn't passed my arms through in 3 years, just like a new uniform. Previously, they had been worn for only a single week. And now to me, they were the only clothes other than pajamas I owned. Once again, walking under the blazing sky, the noisy cicadas and running sweat was the same just as before. But the people who walked by, their eyes did not pause upon me. Even I, as a part of the backdrop of the city, as a part of what builds up everyday life, felt accepted. And then when I entered the schoolyard from earlier, before my eyes was a metal bar for small children to play with. I extended my hands towards it. Placing strength into my arms, I pulled with all my might and kicked at the ground. A moment's sensation of floating, and my body spins around.
まだ大丈夫。
Aww, she's so cute. I whispered that aloud for some reason while I looked around from atop the bar. The strong sunlight made the playground seem white, and the heat made the ground look wavy. Occasionally, I could hear the voices of happy children and the insistent voices of cicadas declaring that summer was their season. My arms already beginning to shake from supporting my weight, I soaked up the present. Why was it that I suddenly wanted to do this, I wonder? The exact reason, not even I knew. By now, the times I wore anything but pajamas dwindled. The pressure from the need to do otherwise had also disappeared. Did I find that to be sad? Or perhaps I wanted to test if I still had the strength.
私はみんなと 同じはず。
Should be the same as the normal people who are over there. So just from a somersault around the bar, I shouldn't be making such a strange face. Because I felt that way, I forced myself to make a smile. But just as I was unable to stop the shaking in my arms, it seemed that too was difficult for me.
Narcissus. 暑。
Even though it was still morning, the asphalt was wavy from the heat. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. And in that, as always, I headed towards the hospital alone. Even though I could have gone in pajamas at this distance, when I had to go out, I've come to wear my sailor uniform. Most likely I was still wavering. How long this wavering will continue, not even I knew. One day, I may suddenly just be able to give up. It was just that I had to come to think that the span of 3 years was more than enough time for a person to change. Then, passing by that school, as the entrance to the hospital was before my eyes,
取りかかってる。
my hands was a small tote bag. I noticed that the button that held the handle was fraying off. I'm not sure how long it had been like that, but coming all this way, I wasn't going to go back home. So I held the bag to my chest and continued towards the hospital. The usual doctor, the usual exchanges, and today's examination ended. When my condition was stable, it was once a week. 3 times a week seemed to be a sign of short hospitalization. But this week's examination was over, as I thought that I head towards the exit on the first floor. The doctors weren't seeing patients in the afternoon, so the halls were mostly empty. Occasionally, a doctor would walk by with a group of intern-like people in tow. A nurse rushed to the first aid window. A patient, probably under dietary restrictions, was in the shop buying snacks. Their wristband was visible green, which I heard was for digestive disorders. All of this was just the ordinary, everyday hospital. And in front of that shop was the first time that I met her.
ねえ、あなた。
Oh, this is Himeko. Suddenly, a bright voice called out to me and surprised me. Turning around before me was the pajama-clad figure of a young woman I didn't recognize. I thought it may have been someone I met while I was admitted here, but I didn't recall the face or figure.
何か。それ、ボタン取れかかってるわよ。
As she spoke, she pointed at my tote bag. It might have been a simple act of kindness, since I had already noted the problem. I had trouble finding a reply.
そうね。そうねって、それだけ？他に言うことは？どうも。
As I spoke, I lowered my head a bit. Because I already knew, my reply came out hesitatingly, but even then, it was too difficult to say thank you very much. The young woman that I hadn't seen before, her long black hair and bright voice left an impression. Looking at her slippers, the kind provided by the hospital, she was probably not an outpatient, but admitted. Looking at her thin wrist, her wristband was white. That was a color I hadn't seen before.
ねえ、直してあげよっか。私、ソーイングセットも持ってるから。でも。
At her sudden words, I hesitated, but it wasn't over a button that didn't mean much. These past few years, because my existence was always only being erased, had absolutely no experience with someone actively trying to relate with me.
いいからいいから。ほら、いらっしゃい。大丈夫よ。別に変な場所じゃないから。
With those words, she started walking briskly, and while wrapped in mixed feelings, I followed behind. Got into the elevator. Without a word, she pressed the button for the highest floor. The 7th floor?
あら、もしかして知ってた？うん、それほどは。
7th floor, the place they called the hospice. I wasn't too familiar, and of course I've never been there. For one thing, I heard that those people not involved with it were barred from entering. Probably meant that if this young woman here were headed to the 7th floor, she was a person from there. Soon the elevator reached its stop. Immediately in front was the nurse's station. The doors opened all together. The gazes of the nurses turned towards us.
私の知り合いだから。
That one sentence, they once again went back to their work. No one looked towards us anymore. It was just my first time here, but without putting my finger on it, I thought the atmosphere was especially heavy. The place the young woman finally took me to looked like a lounge area. It's very different from the third or other floors I've been admitted to. Those didn't have sofas or TV.
すぐに直してあげるわね。
With that, she took my tote bag, and with what seemed like a practiced hand, began fixing the button. And like her, I sat down on the sofa and watched. Even if I looked around, there were few signs of people. Occasionally, an elderly or helper-like person was going by was all about all.
ところであなた、風邪でもひいたの？それとも誰かのお見舞い？
今は通院中だから。
Hesitate over how to answer, but I told the truth. I added that I had just been discharged recently. I was an outpatient now.
あなたも大変そうね。ちなみに部活は何やってるの？
部活？
だって今は夏休みのはずでしょ？
It's late. Are you sleepy, bunny? No, I'm not sleepy. I think I yawned because I was speaking a lot. You can hear it in my voice. As she spoke, she pointed at my uniform.
入院してたくらいだから文化部かしら。もしくは運動部のマネージャーとか。
別に何もやってない。
あら、意外な回答だったわね。
I took a nap before this, so I'm good. Are you sleepy, Strange?
もしかしてパジャマは嫌い？
Sudden perceptive question I couldn't find the words to respond with. It's not that I hated pajamas or anything, but I sensed that the precise reason would be difficult to put into words. And what's this young woman... And what this one... Why is this confusing me so much? And what this young woman had asked was probably almost straight at that. She hadn't simply been asking whether I literally like pajamas.
お姉さんはここの人？
ええ。こう見えても7階の住人よ。
Some errors here, yeah, there's a little bit of
手
errors,
っ取り
but
早
it's
く
okay,
言え
it's
ば
not a big deal.
死亡確定者ってことね。
That which I had only known on the level of rumors was now clearly spelled out by a resident of the 7th floor. She used the word death in such a bright and relaxed tone. At the least, it didn't seem like I could comprehend. This person, what on earth could her thoughts be?
ねえねえ、よかったらまた遊びに来てよ。
私が？
何もやることがなくて退屈なのよ。それにここは面会時間も遅くまで大丈夫だから。
And with that, she told me various things about the 7th floor. Up until now, I had only known vaguely, but it seemed that the rumors that it was a place to wait to die were true.
他にもルールとかあるんだけど、これ以上は言えないわ。
どうして？
そりゃ決まってるじゃない。あなたはここの住人ではないからよ。
Yet. It's only then, when she whispered that her face clouded. Felt that expression held loneliness, and it seemed filled with intensity as well. Right now I was wearing these clothes, steeped with the lingering regret for the once normal days. And unlike myself, this young woman, and these residents of the 7th floor, had probably given up on everything. Had already made up their resolve. I'm gonna cry. These poor people.
通院に来たついでにでも寄ってよ。
I'm crying. That's so sad. She's pretty chipper though. Yes, she is. Because she's trying to mask how depressed she is. I feel so bad for people who give up. But I understand.
どんなに頑張ってもあと半年くらいだからさ。
She said that by way of farewell. She once more turned on her cheery face towards me. Long black hair, white wristband, and a bright, relaxed way of talking with my impressions. Still, neither of us knew the other's name. My 15th summer. this was our first meeting.
熱
A few days later, I again visited the hospital. However, it wasn't like it was an examination day. Sorry, Dio, come to play. The words of the young woman I met a few days ago. I want to play with someone. Maybe because I was somewhat interested in her. Maybe I was curious about the 7th floor place for some reason. I came to the highest floor. With a nod to the nurses who looked my way, I made my way to the door that the younger woman had told me. Damn, what's up with you? Early ass stream? Late night stream? Yeah, I know. It's because I took a nap. And then I have to go. I have a lot of stuff to do today, so I was like, maybe I should just stream now and get it out of the way. Not that it's like something to get out of the way, just like, you know what I mean. Just to... I have to go to the doctor today, and I have my final interview at my new potential job, which I'm super excited about.
はい、どうぞ。
来たわよ。
いらっしゃい。待ってたわ。
Nice. Thank you.
座って座って。
うん。
Sitting up in her bed, she offered the folding chair next to her. The first room on the 7th floor that I entered felt a little different from the 3rd floor rooms I was used to.
悪かったわね。でもね、きっと来てくれると思ってたわ。あなた、暇だし。
なんで決めつけなのよ。
Congrats on making it to the final round. You're gonna kill it. Oh, thanks, Felix. I really appreciate it. How are you doing? What's anything new with you, Felix?
だって私たち病人の仕事は寝ることでしょ。世の中でこんな暇な人はいないわ。あら、そう思わない？
別に。
もう相変わらずクールね。ってそうだねえ、あなたアイス好き？
Found out I'm getting a raise for inflation for my upcoming job. So I guess that's something. Yay! Congrats, Felix! A raise is always a good thing.
あれ？じゃあ嫌い？
うん。
はい、決まり。じゃあ食堂まで一緒に食べに行きましょう。遠慮しなくていいって。お姉さんおごってあげるから。
よく知らない人に。
は？
お母さんにそう言われてる。なんで笑うのよ。
ごめん、悪気はないから本当に。でも確かにその通りね。知らない人についてちゃダメよね。姫子よ。
え？
お姫様の姫に子供の子。ついでに言うと天秤座の AB 型。
Oh, she's a Libra. You can tell with kind of how forward she is.
あなたは？
水亀座の O 型。
Oh my god, her being an Aquarius makes so much fucking sense. Holy shit.
切に。
じゃあこれで知り合いね。説明。
焼けた日差しとセミの声。この真っ白な7階にも響いていた。姫子と名乗るお姉さん。まだ私はお姉さんのことを何も知らないけど、この日から長い夏が始まろうとしていた。
I didn't hear anything about the signs. What's your sign, Felix? Following the young woman, Himeko-san, we came to the first floor cafeteria. Oh boy, that one was fast. Sad. Felix, me too! Sad buddies! Vanilla ice, ice, baby. We went up to a convenient table and sat next to each other. Maybe it was because it was right at lunch. The cafeteria was surprisingly crowded, not only with people from outside, but also with people who seemed to be involved with the hospital. As for myself, because my home was close, I'd never used it before, but more people seemed to use it than I had
じゃ
thought.
何でも好きなの言ってね。
And then Himeko-san passed over a menu with a practiced air.
ゆっくり選んでくれていいわよ。
Strange, can you remind me of your sign again? I forget.
チョコでもミントでもシャーベットでもなんでも好きなのにしてね。
She happily continued with her words, however. No matter how much I looked at the menu, it didn't seem like I had much to debate over. I'm a Libra and a Virgo. I was gonna guess Virgo, but you being a Libra makes so much sense.
じゃあ私は
You even have a little bit of similar energy to Himeko. That's some leap year BS. I think Strange is on the cusp of both of them, and that's why. It's when you're born, like right in the middle of two signs. So you're both of them. Yeah, there are cusp days. Yeah. So Strange is both, and it makes so much sense. He's not full Libra. He got that Virgo in him, which makes so much sense.
ちょっと待った。
Who's a good example of a Virgo? You guys remember Kill la Kill? The girl in the white with the black hair, you know, Ryoko's sister. She's definitely a Virgo.
はい。ズバリ
Here, a
私が
good
予想してみましょう。
Satsuki? I think so, yeah. The sister who's the daughter of the psycho rainbow girl. Ask not the sparrow how the eagle soars. Let me think of some. Like, Austin Powers is a great example of a Sagittarius. He's such a Sagittarius. Who else? What's his name? The guy from American Psycho is a Virgo. For some reason, when she interrupted me, she confidently started making her prediction. Patrick Bateman. Yes, thank you. Patrick Bateman is a Virgo, definitely. The fact that he was so precise about his business card, all that stuff. Virgos are based. They are. I mean, they are. Virgos are they're put together. They get shit done, you know what I mean? They're very much that person at your work who, like, is actually on top of things. When you're like, damn, I haven't even started that, and they finished it 2 weeks ago, that's a Virgo. Certainly, this was a menu with many different set meals and drinks. But from the start, the key item, ice cream, only came in vanilla. You guys know that meme where there's people on the steps and it's like first, second, third, and in last place there's a guy with a bottle and he's like, fuck yeah! That's a Sagittarius. The Sagittarius is the one who's like, fuck yeah, I did good, even though they're in last place. There wasn't really anything to predict here. Who's a good example of a Libra? Oh my god. What's his face from Hunter x Hunter? He's a Libra. The clown, Hisoka. Hisoka's definitely a Libra.
そうね。あなたの雰囲気からすると
Lol.
バニラね。どう？もしかして当たってる？
これは何かの冗談。
違う！そこはメニューそれしかないじゃんって突っ込んでくれないと。
I didn't really get it. She got fired up all by herself.
もういいわ。じゃ、買ってくるから。
I do like that mentality though. The last place guy? Yeah, me too. It's so funny. I love that picture. As she spoke, she got up from her seat and quickly went by. Gave it a shot, and that's something worth celebrating. Absolutely. What was that just now?
はい、お待たせ。
In a bit, Himeko-san returned. However, on the tray, there were 4 ice
とりあえず、一人ノルマ2個だからね。
Why? So I thought came to me, but faster than I could ask, she placed 2 dishes in front of me, as if that's how it was supposed to be. As she started eating before I did.
おいしい。おいしい。やっぱ夏場はこれに限るわよね。
This is making me hungry. After this game, I'm gonna make some pasta and then we'll do some Angels of Death. Felix, you like Angels of Death, right? While nodding, I also started eating. It was a sherbet like ice cream and fit the sensation with its light taste.
節みおいしい？
おいしい。
じゃあさ、もっと嬉しそうに言ってみて。
おいしい。
ああ、そうじゃなくってもっとこう。
All this time I'm wondering, just what in the world does she want me to do?
じゃあね。うまいぞーって言ってみて。
Interesting, not the biggest fan of the ship, but yeah. I understand. Yeah, I learned that. I'm gonna be honest, I like their personalities together, so I'm just pretending their ages are the same. So that I don't feel weird about it. Because that's the kind of person I am, I just ignore things I don't like.
うまいぞ。
The girl reminding me of Sensho Hosho Marine. I don't know that. Strange. Is Hosho Marine what it's from?
問題？
まず、シャンデリアを10回言ってください。
Oh, a hollow life girl. Ooh.
あ、素早く言わないとダメだからね。
She's always horny. Can't relate. Chandelier, 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 chandelier. And who ate the poisoned apple?
白雪姫。正解よ。
正解よ。Maybe she wanted me to answer Cinderella.
さて、いよいよ盛り上がってまいりました。
Cinderella, Cinderella. I don't remember any of the lyrics.
てなわけで、自己紹介タイムよ。
You know what Disney song goes way harder than it should? Well, first of all, any song in Mulan. But second of all, that one Ariel song where it's like... Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Blah, 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 blah. I like that song. And these sorts of... There's actually a lot of good Disney songs, really. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of wanted to see that for the song. You wanted to see what? For the Ariel song? In these sort of situations, I heard the live action Little Mermaid kind of ruined it though. Oh yeah, have you heard of the YouTube channel Your Movie Sucks? Or something like that? I think that's his name, Your Movie Sucks. It's this guy named Adam. Yeah, Adam, exactly. He's awesome. I love his videos so much. He did a review on the gay furry guy. Yeah, I love that guy. Me too. I feel like we would get along so well because we're so opposite personalities. I watched it. Yeah, I watched that too, Strange. So we probably have similar opinions to The Little Mermaid. I haven't seen the live action, but I watched his video on it, and I thought a lot of what he said about the songs make a lot of sense to me, you know? It's thanks to Adam that I was able to discover my my favorite movie ever. I'm thinking of ending things. If you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend it. I would watch it, then watch his video on it that explains it, because it took me 2 watches to understand what was actually going on in that movie. But that's what I wound up thinking. But it felt impossible for me.
ねえねえ、節美の趣味って何？
特にない。
じゃあ、お料理とか得意だったりして？
別に。
Maybe you're unexpectedly a karaoke lover, and on top of that love anime songs, and can sing the Summer Machine Gun and stuff? I do like his videos about Old Boy and Kimba. Yeah, I want to see Old Boy because of what he said about it, but I haven't seen Old Boy yet. It's on my list. Interesting. Oh, I had a thought and then it ran away. Oh well. There it was. Go. Oh yeah! While I was in Gemma's stream yesterday, we were talking and she was like, I love your voice acting. Do you sing? I would love to see a karaoke stream. And I was like, I haven't sang in front of anyone in quite a long time. But maybe people are interested. When I get the Yakuza model, I can do a karaoke stream with it. Or part of a stream, do some karaoke. I thought
それ
maybe
じゃ
that I'd have to
今
practice
度
a
は
bit.
私の紹介する番ね。
But after I practice, maybe we can do that if people are interested. Just when I wondered if I said all that much, Himeko-san suddenly stood up. Sounds fun. Yay! Other people wondering, oh, maybe I'll make something in the Discord where you can reply, do the Ariel song. Yeah, I'll make like a thread in the Discord where you can reply with what song you would want me to sing. Other people wondering what was going on looked over, but it seems she didn't mind that at all.
こう見えても私すっごい車好きなの。なんと国内 A 級まで持ってるのよ。
Oh, this is why she likes cars, because of her. It all makes sense now. Oh, the pain. She even straightened up in satisfaction and was excessively wound up. But to me, even if I was told national rank A, I had no idea what that meant.
それってすごいの。
Sorry, I gotta turn my air on again. It's just so hot here. I try to go as long as I can without the air conditioning so you guys don't hear the background noise, but sometimes I just can't help it, you know?
いや
I'm spoiled, really.
It's
Some
so
people don't even have air conditioning. And in a flash of her energy disappeared. I barely registered, I think. Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope it can just fade into the background for you guys. As for me, instead of that, I was more interested in something else.
なになに質問 OK よ。ロータリーエンジンとか得意だから。そうじゃなくてそんなの食べていいの？ああ、そういうことね。
Before my eyes, Himeko-san continued to gobble up her ice cream. It might have been obvious, but ice cream was not supposed to go over well with the sick. Oh, really? Of course, I didn't know much about Himeko-san's illness, but at the least I knew she was someone from the 7th floor. Just looking at it, normally a sick person shouldn't be eating that much ice cream. But to my
ね
question...
え、あなた知ってる？7階の面会時間って。うん。
I was answered with another question. What it had to do with being able to eat ice cream, I couldn't see, but I honestly shook my head. Turned on the third floor where I was always admitted. It was from 3 in the afternoon till 8 at night. However, only on Saturdays, mornings were allowed. I figured the other floors probably had similar arrangements.
なんと7階だけは24時間 OK なのよ。ついでに言えば食事制限も特になし。そうなの？うん。そりゃ無茶な大食いはダメだけど、基本的にいつでも好きなものを食べていいの。
When answering, she started to quickly eat ice cream
たくさ
again.
んの制約があった病棟から7階ではいきなり自由になるのよね。
Mako-san laughed happily as she replied, "Oh, she's definitely covering up how sad she is." Oh, these poor this game is really, really making me want to go visit hospitals more, though. Like, visit the hospice. Like, it's hard because I don't have a car, but one day when I learn to drive, I'd love to visit a hospice and just spend time with people and make them feel as happy, you know, as I can. The very concept of this is so sad. I like that this stuff gets made, though. Yeah, it's really sad, but it's important, you know. This is a really realistic game. This happens to people every day, and it's really sad. Himeko-san laughed happily as she replied. However, the next words she spoke were in total different tones.
説明？この意味がわかるわね。
I gave a small nod. What is a hospice? To that, there are people who say it's a place to wait new treatments, as well as people who say it's a place to ease the heart. I'm sure that both of those were probably correct. But for myself, it seemed like Himeko-san's words were just no more understandable.
そんなわけでいつでも来てよね。
With that, her usual cheerful face returned. She was like this normally, but I felt that once in a while the facial expressions and words she used were very severe. Which one was the real Himeko-san? I didn't know. Most likely both of them were. Around when the sun, which had been so high, was setting, after I left the hospital, I returned home.
ただいま。
At the empty front door, my voice reverberated. The moment I opened the door, from that closed-off room came a blast of hot air. I opened the living room window and let in the outside air. Even just that much cooled the room. Looking at the clock, it was 4, still early for Mother to be coming home. I placed my slightly sweaty sailor uniform in the washing machine and changed into pajamas. And then after I finished washing the rice to help out Mother, who would be returning soon, finished the preparations for making dinner. Since I was feeling well at this point, I set myself to doing the least this much. Really, I could just relax in my room, but instead I switched on the fan in the living room. Father and Mother are working in the middle of this heat. For me alone to be in a cool, air-conditioned room, it gave me a bad feeling, and I couldn't do it. She's home.
ただいま。
うん。おかえりなさい。
Mother returned from her part-time job. Almost always around this time, she'd come home.
節美、もう晩ご飯済ませた？
まだ。
じゃあ一緒に食べましょう。今日もたくさんコロッケもらってきたから。
Sitting at the table across from each other, the two of us started an early dinner. Because Father's commuting time had grown, he often came home late, and so the time the two of us ate like this, separate from him,
どう？
increased.
美味しい？あ、よかったらポテトも食べてね。あなた好きでしょ？
With that, Mother offered the plate of fries. Before, I had just silently kept eating them. Since then, it seemed Mother thought I liked them.
実はお母さんね、昨日からポテトあげる係になったのよ。
Aww, she's so proud.
だから実はこれだけ残り物じゃなかったりしてね。あ、別に心配いらないわ。あなたが好きだって言ったらね。お店の人たちも好きなだけ持って帰れって言ってくれているんだし。
Fuck, this game is so sad! Cheerfully, happily, Mother spoke on. Exactly what were the conditions that led the people at the store to say that, I didn't know. But just from imagining it, I was filled with guilt. For some reason, I was pained.
じゃあこれからも楽しみにしていてね。
Wonder if this was based on something? I don't know. In front of such a mother, all I could do was just stay quiet and continue eating the fries, trying as best I could to eat as if they were delicious. 2 days later, the usual cicadas in the sun consecutively setting record heat. Under such a sky, I came here once again. A high ceiling, a white room, a small folding chair upon which I sat. Can't handle games like this. Fata Morgana took a lot out of me. Bit different but depressing games. Oh yeah, this is a very, very sad game. I understand Felix. I like stuff like that. I like very meaningful stuff, so I enjoy it, but it is very sad. Depressing stuff is alright sometimes. However, even though I came here, it was just I came here, simply that. It's not like we talked about anything special. At least I never brought up any interesting conversation topics. It was just on the level of sitting next to the unilaterally chatting Himeko-san, giving seemingly uninterested responses.
ねえ、一つ質問。
Decisively, I tried asking a direct
私
question.
といて楽しい？
ええ、あなたといると退屈知らずよ。
嫌味？
とんでもない。すっごく楽しいわよ。すつみちゃんラブラブって感じかしら。
Maybe she's toying with me? I couldn't help thinking that, but Himeko-san was always like this. This girl's great, I know. It's too bad she's gonna fucking die. Jesus. One-sidedly getting all worked up, whatever I said, and cheerfully following her own pace to the end. And then just when we had that exchange... Good afternoon. The person who came in was an older lady I didn't recognize. It's the first time I saw anyone come into this room. Himeko-san, how are you feeling?
ああ、特にって感じかしら。
Today's a bathing day. What shall I do?
大丈夫よ。お気遣いどうもね。
And if there's anything, feel free to say. With those final words, the lady I didn't know left the room again. At first I had thought it was a family member, but it seemed to be otherwise. Maybe it was a helper, since she was wearing an apron, she seemed like one. But it felt she was somehow different from the other people I knew called helpers.
今の人は
ああ、ヘルパーの人よ。別の人の担当だけどね。
It seemed that I was right that she was a helper. But because there really didn't seem to be a difference, Moko-san explained about helpers here. It seemed that the helpers of the general wards were generally supposed to help people in a physical sense. Depending on the hospital, it could be a job. There also seemed to be someone who looked upon it as a form of part-time work. Compared to that, the 7th floor helpers, because mental care was relatively important, doesn't fit the feeling of being a part-time job.
まあ、少なくともこの病院、この7階では全員ボランティアのはずよ。
そうなんだ。偉いんだね。
I was a bit impressed. It might have been obvious, but I had heard that those who have not been informed beforehand cannot enter the 7th floor. Those people who, by their own choosing, volunteer for free for the sake of those patients, I plainly felt admiration. But my reaction to
そうね。
Miko-san,
偉いわね。
she replied without conviction. Looking at it normally, you'd think you'd sense a bit of something like appreciation. And then Himeko-san's words from before. They were assigned to someone else. That someone else nagged at me. From just those words, one would think that Himeko-san's assigned helper also existed somewhere. But so far, I had never seen anyone like that.
姫子さんの担当の人は？
いないわよ。
いない？どうして？
だって私には必要ないもん。
Lately, that was the only answer she gave. I didn't really understand, but maybe the 7th floor helpers could be refused if the patient said so. Certainly, Himeko-san, when compared to the other people of the 7th floor, could walk normally because she was young, was lively, but come to think, since I've come here, I've not once seen any family members come to visit.
でも今はあなたが来てくれたからね。
It's as if she saw what I was thinking and
あり
replied.
がとう。これで残り3つになったわ。
残り？
ええ。年の離れた友達が欲しかったのよ。
I wouldn't think she'd need help bathing.
ほらよくあるじゃない。死ぬまでにしたい10のことって。
And she lightly used the word dying. That might also be because she's of the 7th floor, but to have the word said in a cheery voice so suddenly was jarring. However, the 10 things that one wants to do before dying. What they were, I didn't know. How much time Hinako-san had left, I also didn't know. Looking at the other way, I could see there were 3 things that remaining.
まああれよ説明。聖書が正しければ世界は7日で作られたそうよ。
だから
私に残された時間でも大抵のことは可能だと思わない？
それ例えになってないわよ。
まあそんなこと言わずにさ、残り3つなんだからよかったら付き合ってよ。
Looks like they've become friends, the 2 of us. On the first week of the meeting, I've been asked to go along with the 3 remaining things to do before dying. Himeko-san's words, I didn't know how serious she was, but it seemed that I would probably be coming to this place often. As the sun slowly sank and the sky stained orange, I left the hospital. Today I may have been at the hospital too long. As I was thinking that, my eyes landed on the schoolyard. Again, there were children running around happily. Even the middle bar I did the somersault on before I had plenty of patrons today. Summer vacation dusk, the voices of the Higurashi cicadas, sweaty playing children. Each and every one was an everyday part that built up the scene of a common summer day. There's nothing out of place, no one who made a strained face like mine from a single somersault. Big sis, what's wrong? As I continued to stand gazing, one child that was playing spoke to me. Do you want to play with the bar?
別に何でもないわよ。
With just that answer, I turned on my heel. Looking up, the sky already darkening, I hurried along the road home.
ただいま。
おかえり。ちょうど晩ご飯の支度ができたところよ。
Looking at the clock, it was already about 7. Today, Mother had come home first, and together with Mother, we began our usual early dinner.
そういえば今日は遅かったわね。
ちょっと病院寄ってたから。
あら、今日って検診の日だ。
そうじゃないけど。
Worried about how to answer. How should I talk about Himika-san? Being an acquaintance seemed safe, but after thinking of it, I decided to answer like Himiko-san said.
友達のところに行ってたから。
A friend? Mother repeated my words back to me. She also had a surprised, unbelieving sort of expression. However, Mother having that kind of reaction was probably unavoidable. For the word friend to come out of my mouth was itself rare. Well, at the very least, in these past few years, it probably had been impossible.
そうよかったわね、節美。お友達ができて。
And this time she happily continued speaking. To that happy mother, I spoke about the events that happened up until now. That she was a very kind One-san. That lately I've been going to play every day. That often I was taken to go eat ice
へ
cream.
え、優しそうなお姉さんね。
It's not like I was lying, but I wasn't able to say that she was a resident of the 7th floor. Why, I thought that I didn't know the exact reason. Being on the 7th floor wasn't Himeko-san's fault. It was no one's fault, I knew that. Because I was in a similar position. Because at some point the people I knew disappeared. I knew it even more so. It was probably the feeling of not wanting to worry her. I'm sure that Mother would imagine that it was another normal patient, or perhaps a nurse. But to deny that didn't seem like something I could do.
そうだ。じゃあ明日からお弁当も作ってあげようか。
え？
この距離でもわざわざ帰ってくるの面倒でしょ。
Mother continued being happy. Lately my health had been good, and probably hearing I had made a friend made her extra happy. I wouldn't say it out loud, but I think since the 6th grade trip, she always had put effort into making lunch for me.
任せて。豪華なの
Mom's a
作
real
ってあげ
one.
るから。
I know, her mom is great. In front of such a happy mother, I could say nothing. Although she should probably ask where exactly she's going. Well, she said she was going to the hospital. As always, all I could do was quietly eat the fries. Okay, let's save here. How you doing, Jeremy? Cicada screeching. Even though it was still morning, it already felt like midday. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. Oh, also guys, I added a bunch of new redeems. And you can, well, I can't do it during this game, but so don't do a redeem when I'm playing Narcissu because I can't tab out. But in other games, you can add props to my model. It's so fun. Even though it was still morning, it already felt like midday. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. And now, walking the 3-minute distance, I again was headed towards the hospital. In my hand was the usual tote bag with a pattern of yarns and sunflowers on white. I'm good, but I'm nauseous. Entirely my undoing. Oh, I'm sorry you're nauseous. Were you drinking or something, Jeremy? Nothing in particular changed from yesterday. Just another summer day. What different was? Hidden inside the tote bag, the lunch that Mother had made for me.
Oi! Setsumi!
Have you ever done VR? If most people haven't done it, or in a while, it takes time not to get motion sickness from it, so I'm training myself like, oh yeah, for real. Yeah, sometimes when I watch people do VR, I get motion sick, so I understand. Called from far away, I turned towards a familiar voice.
どうしたの？こんな場所で。
待ってたのよ。ちょっと手伝ってほしくって。
Just those words, Himeka-chan quickly started walking. Just where was she going? Where it was, I wasn't the main entrance, but the rear. While not knowing what was happening, I followed along.
はーい、到着。
place we'd come by to was the hospital's courtyard. Around the small fountain was a dock and many flower beds. While I had been hospitalized, it had been a place I'd come to numerous
こ
times.
こがどうかしたの？
ほらそこ見てよ。
What Himiko was pointing at was the corner of a flower bed roughly 3 meters square. It was just that, even though there was grass and flowers made on the ground around it, that patch alone had nothing growing on it.
そんなわけで、じゃーん。
何それ？
球根よ球根。今からここに植えようと思ってね。
Probably Himiko-san took a bit out of Himiko-san took out a bowl from the plastic bag in her harness showed me. Counting them up, there seemed to be more secure around 100. Sure, if people were planting, I'd be done with about 15 minutes to an hour, but I was worried about something else.
勝手に植えていいの？
だってこの区画、
私が尋ねたのは勝手にの部分よ。
大丈夫だって。別に怒られたりしないから。
That really didn't feel like much of an explanation. But winter use probably meant that it was for flowers that didn't bloom in the winter. And I understand that reason, now was the time to plant them. Fine, but even then, I don't see how I don't see how that connected with the planting in the hospital's flower beds without permission. Or were you the people in the 7th floor basement permitted this much freedom?
じゃあ始めましょうか。10センチほど折ってから球根を埋めてね。
Once she said that, she handed the bag of bulbs and a small gandering trowel over. Recently my health had been fine, so this wasn't a problem. But I wonder if it was alright for Himiko-san to work under this blazing sky. I couldn't help but worry about that, but Himiko-san herself was planting them with amazing vigor. Once this is quarry. Dig dug, dig dug, dig dug, dig dug. Maybe gardening was a hobby? Come think of it, might be beforehand I saw that I taste. One would believe that since our hands moved unnaturally well.
そうそう。そんな感じで
Hey,
軽
how
く
are you,
土もかけ
buddy?
てね。
Hey Megami, how are you? I'm doing good. There's a big delay in your chat messages right now. Oh really? Okay, I think I know why. One sec, guys. Okay, I'm doing good. Yay, good job. Okay, give me 1 sec. I know why it's doing this. Okay, let me cancel that. Your voice is really cute, by the way. Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Avatar's cute as fuck. Thank you. I love it too. Okay, let's go back to Narcissu. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. It should be less laggy now. Yeah, just lightly cover it with dirt like that. Once in a while, as I watched and imitated her, she would give instructions. Yeah, Avatar's really cute too. Thank you.
何の花なの？
Megami, have you played Narcissu before? Or what kind of games are you usually into?
水仙よ。知ってる？
名前くらいは。
Even so, I could only remember that they were white flowers. Having only seen them blooming on TV and in a book, this was the first time I've held a bulb like this.
あのね、これって珍しいのよ。今の時期にあるなんて。
Do you it by yourself? Yeah, I have played it, buddy. Oh, nice. It's a really sad game, but I like it a lot so far.
そうなの。
ええ。本来は夏の終わり頃だからね。
Is the chat better, Jeremy? And then Himeko-san taught me various things. That the scientific name was Narcissu. And the family of Mary Lidaceae. How could you grow them from seeds? How you could grow them from seeds, but since they take a few years to bloom. Testing. Bulbs are planted instead. How in the deep of winter, when the flower beds were a lonely place, their single proud booming form was impressive and beautiful.
やっぱり
But mostly I
園芸が趣味
play
なの。
Pokemon Super Mario. Oh, nice! Which Mario game? So 8 seconds from Twitch chat to your thing. Oh, well, I don't know why. I'm sorry, guys. I'm responding as fast as I can. Also, I love. What's your favorite Pokemon, Megami? I love Pokemon.
別に趣味っ
It's
てわけじ
okay,
ゃないわ
it's not too
よ。
bad. Okay.
じゃあどうして詳しいの？
どっちかというと職業柄かな。
A gardener, a florist, but before she said she liked cars. Didn't really understand. I still really didn't know much about Himeko-san.
何にしてもこれが咲く頃には私はいないけどね。
And as always, strictly talking about things that make you stop short. When I knew that she was a resident of the 7th floor and that the rest of her time was within sight. And despite that, she does these things and was a person who could be called carefree.
さて、
Pikachu and Mew?
そろ
I
そろ
love
部屋に
Mew!
帰りましょう。
Oh my god, after this game, I have a little Mew I can add on my model. I love Mew too. My favorite Pokemon is Skitty. Oh! 3L Napster! Thank you so much for following. Welcome! I hope you're doing well, Napster. For watching you, I hadn't watched Twitch for years, and back then it was like 30 seconds delay, just entirely different kind of experience. Oh, yeah, it used to be way longer, huh? Oh, I'm glad you're here, Jeremy. Together. Oh, Megami, thanks for following. It's so nice to have you here. Mine is Alakazam. Oh, Alakazam's a good Pokemon too. Together, we carefully washed our hands and headed to the 7th floor. Right in front of us as we got off the elevator was a large cart carrying lunch. It was already that time. And so, with Himeko-san's lunch tray in hand, we went back to the room. Normally, when this time came, I'd be heading back home to eat lunch.
ねえ、セツミ、一緒に食堂行く？あなたも家まで帰るのめんどくさいでしょ。
Holding her own tray, Himeko-san made the suggestion. Normally, I would have wound up thinking it over, but today was a bit different.
今日私お弁当持ってきて。
あなたお弁当持ってきてるの？
うん。お母さんが作ってくれたから。
So I spoke, I took out the lunchbox from the tote bag and opened it on the small table near the bed. And the frozen barley tea I brought along was now melted just right for drinking.
どうかした？
セツミ
びっくりした。
I'm an artist too, buddy. If you want to update any of your stuff like VTuber model banner and overlay, I'd love to do that for you. Okay, wait, you want to hold on. I have to exit the game to do it. Okay, give me one sec. Wait. Yes. Okay, also, that's so nice of you, Megami. I'd love to see your work sometime. Okay, let me add the sands really quick. You guys can see it. Okay. We have lots of prop. Okay, let's add the Mew. Little Mew right there. And then let's add... Where's Sans? Here he is. There we go. Okay. Load. Wow, you scared me. Oh my god, Mochi! Thank you so much for raiding me. So sweet of you. At first I was sad I stopped the game, but now it's fully justified. Oh, you sad because you... Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god, Mochi, I hope you had a great stream, and welcome all of your people. Oh my god, Aurora, thank you for following. That's so sweet of you. Welcome. I was live for like 4 hours. We can chat afterwards on your Discord. For sure, yeah. Yeah, hit me up. I have a Discord if you guys want to join. It's totally open to anyone. It's a really, you know, small... I now need a bed. Oh, bitch. He was just... And it's just great. Can I add you there? Yeah, of course. Of course you can add me on Discord.
私は今、猛烈に感動してるのよ。まさかこんな場所にお弁当持参で来てくれる子がいるとは。ありがとう。ありがとね。抱きつかないで。ちょっとオーバーだったかしら。
And so we began eating lunch together. Because I'm playing the game, I won't be able to accept it, but I'll accept it later, okay, Megami? So just know that I know that it's there, and I'll accept it later. Himeko-san got off the bed and we sat in folding chairs next to each other. Mochi, did you finish that route that you were doing with the pink girl who's a cutie pie? Yeah, after the stream, you give reply to my message and then also show you my art also, buddy. Yeah, sounds great. By the way, Himeko-san's lunch, even though it's the 7th floor, didn't look like that different from the food in the other wards. Hope you would love it. Oh, of course. I wondered if it would have been extremely luxurious, but it was what you could call a plain hospital lunch. Compared to that, my lunch, which mother had put effort into making. Spicy fried tofu, lots of croquets. It was very lively. I did! We played Yu-Gi-Oh! After that for like 3 hours. Nice! I hope you had a fun time. How many routes do you have left, Mochi, for Muv-Love?
ねえねえ。
What day is it
一つ
today?
もらっていい？
Ooh, today's Friday. Monday's Amori.
どうぞ。いただきまーす。ってからこれカレーコロッケね。
Think like 3 or 4. Oh, nice. You're getting there. It wasn't supposed to be all that spicy, but Himeko-san drank far too much water.
大丈夫？実は私って辛いの超苦手なのよね。
Unlike her normal image, there were some tears in her eyes. She looked so pitiful, I decided to tell her what was in them.
これが野菜コロッケ。
はい。
そっちはかぼちゃ。手前のは肉コロッケよ。もしかして見ただけで中身がわかるの？
So to show the half-believing, half-doubting woman, I split open the croquets with my chopsticks.
ほら、合ってるわよ。なんでわかるのよ。外見全く同じなのに。全く同じってわけでもないわ。少なくとも私には見分け
You
つ
Twitch
かないわ
streamers are
ね。
on another level of being able to stream for so long, give up the energy. Then Mochi got streamer luck. Oh, you got streamer luck? Yay! Did you get lucky in Yu-Gi-Oh? Just sent you a message. Request to my buddy. Okay, for sure. I'll read it after
もしか
this
して
game,
コロッケに
okay?
詳しいの？別に。
I didn't think it was all that amazing myself. Basically, from eating them every day, I just learned to pick out the little differences between the outsides. Your energy is out of this world, buddy. Aw,
ご
thank
ち
you.
そうさまでした。
I just got back from my final interview for a job, so I hope I get it, guys. I think it went really well. And your voice is really cute. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Once our meal is finished, I place the now empty lunchbox back into the tote
ねえ
bag.
コロッケ博士。はい。食後のアイスに行かない？博
Oh
士も。
yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I have some redeems if you guys want some new redeems for props to put on my avatar. So if you guys want to do that, that is an option. No pressure, of course. I feel like you got it for sure. I can tell by your mood that you know you killed it. Aw, Thanks, Jeremy. I think it went well. I have waitressing experience, so I was able to kind of just jump back into it, and I hope I did a good job. Could it be that Professor Croquet meant me?
変なあだ名つけないでよ。気に入らなかったみたいね。
Beyond the windows that could only open 15 centimeters was the summer sky. The voices of noisily crying cicadas and Himeko-san's bright laughing voice rang out in the narrow room. There, always bright and cheery, was Himeko-san. And just maybe, I too was smiling. Afterwards, we passed the time as usual in the room. When we parted, as I was making to leave the 7th floor,
ちょっと
turning around, there was a young woman I didn't know. A cute frilly skirt, a red apron, and a rosary on her chest left an impression. Other helpers I've seen before wore the same aprons, so that probably meant this person was also a helper.
私に何か。ここは関係者か肉親以外ご遠慮いただいているのですが。あ、それともどちらかのご家族の方でしたか？
For a moment I thought about how to answer and then slowly opened my mouth.
姫子って人の友達。え？あなたが友達？そう言われているわ。何？あ、いえ、なんでもないです。失礼しました。
But those words, the young woman once again went off somewhere. What was that just now? It was probably a helper, but... Around when the sun had completely set and today's dinner was ending,
まあ、綺麗に食べてくれたのね。
Mother looked pleased with the empty
じゃ
lunchbox.
あ、明日からも作ってあげるわね。
ありがとう。
Truth was, Himeko-san had eaten the fries for me, but I wasn't able to reveal that. Once I opened the window in the room, just a bit of a cool night wind came in. My room, by the window the sailor uniform was drying. Sweltering summer heat made me want to turn on the air conditioner, but when I thought about father, who still hadn't come home yet, I stopped. Come to think, Himeko-san. In the end, she was really vague about it, but I wondered if planting flowers in the flower bed without permission would cause her any problems. Top of that, the story from before about how she didn't need a helper and how no one came to visit her was also mysterious. Name Himeko. Libra. Oh, she's a Libra. You can tell she's a Libra I love this game because it's so good with the... Well, I love this game for a few reasons, but it's so good with the zodiac signs because Himeko is such a Libra. And the girl Setsumi, she's such an Aquarius. That's us, by the way, in this perspective. I still probably didn't know anything about her. What are your guys' zodiac signs? I'm a Sagittarius. Oh shit, punishment. Uh-oh. The next day. Today, we ate our lunch in a different location. In a deserted lounge while watching the impersonal daytime news on the television, we ate. Taurus, I believe? Ooh, nice.
やっぱこのコロッケ美味しいわね。
Means you're an earth sign, so you're very, like, secure. Today again, Himeko-san seemed to want the dishes in my lunch. I also knew the hospital food was bad. On top of the table, my lunch and Himeko-san's hospital meal were spread out and the two of us ate together.
次は野菜コロッケが欲しいんだけど。右端のよ。はーい。ありがとう、節見博士。もう教えてあげない。うん、冗談だって、冗談。
As we made these little exchanges, around when today's lunch came to an end.
ねえ、以前から気になってたんだけど、もしかして嫌いなの？
She spoke, she pointed at the fries in the lunchbox.
結局、昨日も私一人でポテト食べたじゃない。うん。嫌い。じゃあ、どうして入ってる？
How should I answer? I debated a bit. Decided to tell the
好き
truth.
だと思っているから、お母さんは。あなたも大変そうね。
Probably. Even just that, my meaning went through. It's like before with the clothes. For some reason, Himeko-san seemed to see through to the heart of things. However, the words that Himeko-san spoke next weren't in a bright tone of
でも
voice.
それは優しさじゃないわよ。まだあなたには理解できないでしょうけど、相手を気遣っているつもりなら大間違いね。
Mistake, not kindness? At the very least, those words weren't directed at Mother, but probably towards me. Right and wrong. If it's that, I understand. Even I don't think not saying how I really feel is right. Then was revealing the truth kindness? To say what Mother had gone through for my sake was something I actually hated. Would that be kindness? Afterwards, I was asked to go shopping at the store for Himeko-san. So I left the elevator on the 7th floor and was again headed to the lounge. In the hallway, just before the lounge, I saw Himeko-san talking to someone. I was sure that person was the helper that had spoken to me the other day. I thought about going up and speaking to them as the two of them spoke, but for some reason, sensing that it wasn't that kind of an atmosphere, I reflexively watched from afar.
ほら、今日の分の点滴まだなんだから。
分かってるわよ。今から帰るとこだって。
それと午後からの入浴の仕方だけど。
千尋、私が知らないとでも思って。
別にそんな意味。
だったら余計な気遣いは無用よ。あなたこそ自分の担当のもとへ帰りなさい。
And the unknown woman left like that. Without a doubt, that was the person who spoke to me the other day.
ねえ、今の人は？
ただのヘルパーよ。
The answer is if she were pushing something aside. To me, from the explanation I had heard about the helpers on the 7th floor, I thought they were all very admirable. And yet looking at Himeko-san, it didn't seem like she felt that way. Especially with the person just now, it felt like she had even been cold. Perhaps seeing that I wanted to say something, Himeko-san entered the lounge before us. Sitting on a sofa, she offered the chair facing her.
実は私もヘルパーやってたことあるのよ。
ここで？
だから知り合いなのよ。
It was unexpected. For me, the bright cherry Himeko-san and the image of a helper just wouldn't connect. At the least, the image of the helpers on the 7th floor was that they were always calm and collected. But thinking more on it, a part of it did fit. Patients on the 7th floor, unlike patients of other wards, in a way were given freedom. However, even among them, I had thought Himeko-san was special. For some reason, it felt as she were allowed to get away with them even more. Questions I had before about planting in the garden without permission, and how she said she couldn't. She didn't need an assigned helper. How would she randomly give friendly nods to doctors and nurses? Surely because she had become a helper before in this hospital, she had probably been allowed more.
ねえ、一つ質問していい？どうしてヘルパーやってたの？
This time, I tried to voice my next question. Even if I were true that Himeko-san and I had been given a previous helper, where she would work as one I couldn't imagine. The least from what I knew about Himeko-san, I thought she would be indifferent to something like volunteering or
う
being a
ちはカト
helper.
リックだからね。
カトリック？
ええ。私の両親もそうだけど、こういう福祉活動にはよく参加するのよ。
That was an even more unexpected answer. Of course, myself knew absolutely nothing about Christians or religious matters. But even then, from the helper just before, I felt the image of Himeko-san was far from that.
それにほら、ここってキリスト教病院でしょ？
うん。それは知ってる。
だから余計にね。
She spoke as if that were the answer to everything. Certainly, I hadn't really considered him until now. But now that she mentioned it, I did occasionally see people who look like priests and sisters. But still, for us normal sick people, there are a few things that we paid attention to about the kinds of hospital it was. Instead of things like that, whether there was specialization in surgery or whether there was a famous internist present from those, a hospice would be chosen. However, for the people who would work there, there's probably a huge
でも
difference.
所詮私はエセカトリックよ。
そうなの。
偶然教会の隣に家があったってだけだし。
That sucks. Himeko-san answered in her usual cheery way. Whenever those words were the huh or lie, I didn't know. However, this time her gaze shifted towards the window that in that profile that I really saw. I thought there was some denial of those
でもね、
words.
まさか逆に自分が7階に入るとは思わなかったわ。やっぱバチが当たったのかもしれないわね。
While taking the long summer days slowly ended, unusually father was home so early, so today our family of 3 ate dinner together. Since we moved, his commute lengthened, and it has been a while since the 3 of us gathered around the dinner table like this. Oh, made a friend.
ええ、だから最近は毎日出かけているのよ。
Isn't that great, said to me.
うん。
Here of making a friend, father also became happy. Pretty sure that because my health has been well lately, father even more pleased. But those words of us would always shake one another. Even now, because he comes home late, mother, I thought today was normal, but there are no times when she would come home late from her part-time PB and there would eat alone. Since that day 3 years ago, days of going in and out of hospitals, Himeko-san said that she herself, was I being pushed? Then, did I also do something wrong and was being punished? Just what kind of wrong did I commit? And the one who's being punished is... Was it my... Wait. Okay, sorry. I misthought that. Was it myself or my parents or perhaps
どうかした
both?
説明。
うん。なんでもない。
Opening the window, eventually in such stiffy heat the night breeze felt close. I don't know what I'm reading sometimes. There are many things I didn't understand. But if we were being punished, then who is doing the punishing? So I said I'm sorry to that person. Would we have been forgiven? I, who would silently eat fries, have also been unkind. And Himeko-san, for some reason, has come close to me. Until now, outside of family, others have done the reverse and avoided me. I guess that for her also, it was because there was no one else and she was bored. Dang. I'm gonna save here. How do you save? I go here and then I save. Burning sunlight and the pouring of cicada cries. Pitch black shadows are right underfoot. After having overslept, I was now headed to the usual place. Good morning. You're here late today.
おはよう。
Getting out of the elevator, I exchanged light greetings with the nurse I became acquainted with. By now, even if I enter the 7th floor, no one challenged me. Just maybe at this rate, I too might become a person of this place. When the thought suddenly came, I was afraid. Continuing down the white hall, I headed to the now familiar room of Himeko-san.
入るわよ。
And when I returned to Himeko-san, who had probably been waiting, books, maybe, spread atop the bed, thin volumes that Himeko-san gazed at. What those were, I don't know, but that face was different from my usual bright expression.
ね。 何見てるの？
地図よ。
地図。
Just that answer, her gaze once again returned to the pages. There was an expression I never saw before. A lonely, yet somehow also calm expression.
面白い。
別につまらないわ。
Her words said so, but her face wouldn't turn this way. And even though she said it was boring, she continued staring with a lonely gaze. Then you don't have to look. Even as I thought that, I gazed along with her. There was nothing else to do, nothing else I could do. Spread atop the bed, the maps of some place. On them were a number of large highways and roads, places with unfamiliar names. My eyes are so heavy now. Let's have fun with stream, but I gotta go sleep at 6 a.m. here. Oh, for sure, Anya. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great sleepy. Felt like a sight to Himeko-san, who continued gazing, but for me, I couldn't feel enjoyment in doing
退屈
so.
でしょ。いいのよ。私だってつまらないと思うもの。
じゃあどうして見てるの？
さあ、どうしてだろうね。
Even as she answered with that, Himeko-san continued to gaze. Himeko-san herself didn't know the reason, and then there was no way I could understand. While thinking that, and just when I thought she would remain that way for a while, she slowly murmured,
でもね、まだあなたには必要ないものよ。
それはいつか必要になるってこと？
さあ、それもあなた次第かしら。
Occasionally, Himeko-san spoke as if she could see clear to my thoughts. There were also times when she would suddenly toss out words like Zen riddles. What those were really talking about, I didn't know. For some reason, often I would wind up nodding.
ねえ、説明知ってた？もしどこか行きたい場所があったとして、どれだけの予算があれば足りると思う？
わからないわ。
Sudden question, I answered honestly. I had never thought about such a thing.
私の計算によるとね、5万円よ。
そんなに？
そう考えちゃダメよ。逆に言えば、それだけあれば日本中どこだって行けるってことよ。
Even hearing that sum meant nothing to me. I also couldn't see the frickin' cough intention behind letting me hear it. Perhaps it simply meant that. Sorry, guys. That poor that goes on. Stop coughing, body, please. She had a place she wanted to go to. Oh my god. You know when you have that feeling in your throat where it's like a dry and it's like tickling you and it's like you're gonna cough more, you're gonna cough more, you're gonna cough more, and you're like, stop, please. And someday I too would have such a place born within me. Perhaps she also wanted to say that.
さて、じゃあまたアイスでも行きましょうか。
With that, she folded the maps and stood.
私、検温あるから先に行ってて。
うん。
Leaving Himeko-san, I waited for the elevator. All around I can see the pajama-wearing people of the 7th floor. These people who wonder if they have a place they want to go, just like Himeko-san. Or perhaps people of a certain age, having already given up or taken a more philosophical view, maybe they don't think about such things.
節美さんでよかったかしら？あなたは確かヘルパーの。はい。この7階を担当させていただいております。
It's the helper who had spoken to me before. The other day, Himeko-san had been speaking with her as if she said she was
それ
acquainted.
で姫子さんのお姉ちゃんのことですけど。お姉ちゃん？
With that word, I could make a guess at how things were. Before, Himeko-san said she had once been a helper on the 7th floor, that her family was Catholic, and she had also participated in public welfare activities. and for this younger sister to be a helper here in the same way was not
それ
surprising.
で私に何か、もし節美さんが無理して一緒にいるようでしたらと思って。別にそんなことないわよ。だったらいいんですが、以前は明るくて優しいお姉ちゃんだったんです。
Seeing that she sadly lowered her head a bit. Certainly I also had a similar impression when we met the other day. The least I thought her behavior towards the kind-looking younger sister seemed very cold. However, towards myself, there was no need of the had been. Even now, I believe she was kind.
千尋、何をやっているの？
お姉ちゃん、
前にも言ったわね。余計なことを喋ってる暇があったら自分の担当の人をしっかり見るべきでしょ。
それは分かってるけど。
あなたもヘルパーならば自分の責務を全うしなさい。行きましょう、節美。
Speaking unilaterally, then leaving her sister there, Himeko-san quickly walked ahead. Even as I felt somewhat bad for Chihiro, I followed after. Again today, sitting facing each other, wait vanilla.
悪かったわね。変なとこ見せて。
今の人が妹さん。
ええ、そうよ。
While speaking, Himeko-san began eating her second ice cream. Beyond that, it didn't look like she was going to say anymore, but I wanted to know about her behavior just before. Not a doubt she was worried about Himeko-san.
ねえ、どうしてあんなに冷たいの？
もしかして妹のこと？
うん。
I gave a small nod. It was Himeko-san's own sister, and as someone who's been the same kind of helper before, I thought she'd understand her feelings. It might not have been something an outsider should be interfering with. Still, I felt bad for the younger sister and was sorry for her.
あんなに優しくていい人。
そうね。優しくていい人だからよ。
わからないわ。
いいのよ。これもまだあなたには必要ないから。
ただいま。
おかえり。ちょうど晩ご飯の支度できたわよ。お腹減ったでしょ。
うん。
The nod, I handed over today's empty
はい、
lunchbox.
たくさん食べてね。
On top of the dinner table were a number of dishes. As always, the fried things from the part-time job were
あ、
there.
ほら、またあげてきたわよ。
With that, she offered the plate of fries. The slightly fat slicing was a distinctive feature. But today, the hand that held the plate was different from
お
before.
母さん。
ああ、大したことないわよ。やっ
Mother answered cheerfully as always, but those were the mark of a burn and was slightly red. Before, while beautifully painted with a manicures, Mother would show them to father and me with pride. At that figure, happily excited over such a small thing, Father and I would also look at each other and give a wry smile. And when she got a strange color, even while saying I was 10 years too young, she'd also painted my nails. But now I was different. The pink manicures had faded, and their place was the slightly red skin of roughened hands. Why they'd become that way, the reason was easy enough to imagine. For those sake, they'd become that way, that didn't even take imagining. Exactly because of that, it was painful for me. It
ど
tortured
うした
me.
の？今日のもあげたてよ。
That isn't kindness. I recalled Himeko-san's words. I had a feeling I understood. Trying good intentions, accepting lies, both were wrong.
ねえ、お母さん。
どうかした節美。美味しいわよ。まあ、ポテト担当になって少しはお母さんの腕も上がったみたいだしね。
Hands that were different from those days, but with the smile that was unchanged from those days, Mother happily offered the fries. In front of such a mother, I could do nothing other than quietly eat the fries. If I were to say the truth here, if I were to truly apologize, the person who's punishing us, the person at the family, would they relent? 3 days later, The sun shining directly overhead, I headed to the usual place. Heard that this summer was a cooker summer, and then cooler summer. Oh, I thought that said cooker, like, you know, like, it's like you're in a boiling pot kind of summer, but apparently I read that it was so wrong. It was a cooler summer than average, but it still seemed like it was gonna be a hot day.
おはよう。節美、待ってたわよ。
For some reason, Himeko-san was again waiting in front of the hospital.
だ、中庭。
そうじゃないけど、まあ、
Just that, she quickly started to walk towards the outside of the hospital.
ちょっと、どこ行く気よ。
ほら、前にも言ったでしょ。の、
Meaning 3? First I couldn't remember what she was talking about.
例の、死ぬまでにしたい銃のことっての？
そうそう。残り3つのうちの1つなんだけどさ、ちょっと行って確かめてみたいことがあってね。
When she spoke, Himeko-san continued walking. Already she was quite a ways from the hospital.
一体どこまで行くつもりよ。
結構遠いわよ。電車でも片道2時間くらいかしら。
先生の外出許可は？
もちろん無断よ。
I didn't really understand it well, but even if it's Himeko-san, she was still a resident of the 7th floor and had the feeling just up and leaving the hospital and going that far wasn't
大
allowed.
丈夫よ。そんな不安そうな顔しなくても。そりゃ外で見つかったらさすがに怒られるかもしれないけど、ま、ちょっとくらいは多めに見てもらえるからさ。
After saying that much, she started walking again. Was she being serious? Certainly, if you kept going this way, you should get to the train station. And then there was one other thing that nagged at me.
ところで、その格好のまま行くの？
I raised the simple question of how Himeko-san was dressed in pajamas. At the least, to ride on a train, I thought that was a bad way to go about
も
things.
ちろんこのままよ。
着替えないの？
いいのよ。これが私のユニフォームなんだから。
The sun up above cast short, dark shadows. An unheeding of the midsummer morning, it was a light stepping on Himeko-san. A while after, well, even saying that, only 5 minutes of walking, and when the number of people walking on the street slowly increased. I wasn't too familiar with things, but it seemed that she was headed towards Station A. Certainly she had said it was 2 hours each way, but just how far was she planning on going? And just that amount of time, riding on a train, it felt like you could get quite far.
ねえ、駅からどこに向かうの？
海までよ。正確にはパイナップルの木がある場所かしら。
パイナップルの木？
Words I wasn't familiar with. I didn't know pineapple trees existed in the first place.
ほら、よく大きな建物の前なんかにさ、フェニックスって呼ばれている木があるでしょ？
うん、知ってる。
Fairy! Sorry I'm late, just noted you streaming. No reason to be sorry at all. Hey Mochi, how are you? How you doing? Hope you're
あ
doing
れってさ
well.、
絶対にパイナップルの木だと思わない？
Indeed, they did look very similar,
だから
but
さ、試しに切ってみて、中身を確かめてみたいのよね。ねえ、もし本当にパイナップルの木だったら大変よ。
was she being serious? I'm doing great. How'd your interview go, friend? I think it went really well. I had a really good time. I also just got a call just now for another place that wants to interview with me, and so I'm gonna go do that tomorrow. But guys, I went to the doctor today just to find out it was closed, so that was really sad. I wanted to cry, but I didn't.
なーによ、その顔は。もしかしてバカにしてる？
What's going on with you, Mochi? Have you done anything fun today?
そうじゃないけど、ありえないと思う。
Wait, is it a day you're streaming or no? Because it's a... Oh, no, it's a non-stream day for you, right? I was just about to say, dang it, I'm streaming early. I can raid Mochi after this.
もうコロッケ博士のくせに頭が固いわね。何事も実際に試してこそでしょ。博士、関
It's
係ない。
doing great. Oh, wait, I already read that. Whoops. Well, I'm glad you're doing great.
それにフェニックスの木だったら病院にもあるし、どこにでもあるじゃない。ダメよ。もっと大物で試さないと面白くないでしょ。
Finally, we were just about to reach the station. Never mind that it was 10 minutes. Walking under the blazing sky was unexpectedly difficult. And as I had expected, Himeko-san's pajama-clad figure stood out, and people walking by glanced at us.
本当に行くの？もちろんじゃない。そのためにここまで。隠れて。どうしたの？あれ？外科病棟の先生だわ。向こうは4階チーフの看護婦さんもいるし。
Now that she mentioned it, there were faces that I recognized.
そっか。病院の関係者はこの駅から通っていたのね。これじゃ見つかって怒られちゃうわ。
Himeko-san laughed in a carefree and sunny way. There was no sense of planning or anything else. In any case, surely she had been a helper before. And she didn't know this? Sorry to hear you couldn't get into the doctor, but glad to hear about the job searching going well. Thank you! Also, it's interesting. It makes so much sense why Setsumi said don't go to Station A, you have to go to Station B, because Station A has all these people. There's a lot of like things that connects with this route in the first one, so I think that's really cool.
だって私の家って近所だから電車で通ったことないんだもん。
I should wait. Sorry. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do today. I'm planning to have another Steinsky watch party in Discord, but I don't know, I might stream something if I get bored. Ooh, well, I'd be excited for both. If you do either, let me know so I can... I'm gonna try and finish Narcissu, so I might be streaming for a while. So maybe if you feel like streaming, let me know, and I'll raid ya.
私だってそうよ。でもやっぱあれね。伊達にルールに含まれてないわね。
OMG Mochi, you know what we gotta do? We gotta find out. Do you have Dolphin? Like, you know, the emulator? Because we gotta play like Mario Party and Sonic together and shit like that. Like, I love that kind of games. Wouldn't that be so fun? We could like chill with Amori, and then afterwards, if you're up for it, of course, we could go and like play like a Mario Party game, or like play Sonic. That shit would be fun. Mario Kart, you know? That'd be fun!
ルール？いやいや、あなたには関係ないことだから。
Oh, I'd love that. I can get it set up. Shouldn't be that hard. Okay, yeah. So make sure you have Dolphin, and then there's a site I can link you where it has a bunch of Nintendo games that you can download.
そりゃ出直すに決まってるでしょ。
Quickly, the decision came, even though she had been so determined to go up until now. Or perhaps if she really wanted to go, maybe after the morning rush ended, it seemed possible to get on a train without being found. Or maybe she hadn't been serious to begin with. The sun was still high, and now the shops in the marketplace were opening up.
さて、せっかく駅前まで来たんだし、寄り道。
As she spoke, Himeko-san wandered her among the shops along the street. I can't read. It's similar to the PS2 emulator I installed. I shouldn't have too much trouble, but I'd appreciate those links. Yeah, for sure. I can't tab out of this game, but after I stream, I'll send you the link. So I can do that. But yeah, it shouldn't be that bad. What did you get the PS2 emulator for? Like, what kind of PS2 games were you playing? Helplessly, I obeyed and followed after. As always, because of her pajamas, people would glance over. However, it seemed that Himeko-san herself didn't mind one bit. Eventually, her feet stopped in front of one storefront.
この服なんかいいわね。
Why is Himeko's voice so much louder? Sound settings. I'll just put it down a little bit. She touched a number of clothes and just decorating the front of the shop. But they were all distinctly frilly sorts of things. However you look, they were meant for cute girls. Oh, also, Mochi, I have a bunch of new redeems where you can put stuff on my avatar. So if you're interested in that, there's that. Because I know it's not... Or unless you're saving for a model change, then I understand. Oh man, just a lot of classics I played back in the game. Kingdom Hearts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Mortal Kombat, Deception, Sans. Yep, there's. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me save because I cannot tab out of this game, so I have to exit the whole game. And then let me click this, and then I go. Okay, let me put Sans. There we go. Why isn't this one working? There we go. Only thing I'm for sure doing today is Mub Love, since I just finished the whole route yesterday. Oh, not doing today. Not doing today. Sans! I love Sans. He's right in between my titties. It's kind of hard to move my model sometimes. Okay, anyways. Back to the game. I've never played Undertale. That memes kills me. Oh my god. Undertale is amazing. They were distinct, really sorts of things. However you look, they were meant for cute girls. They didn't really seem to fit Himeko-san all that much.
そういうのが好きなの。まさか私にこんな少女趣味ないわよ。
Yeah, Undertale's an amazing game. It really is really good, Mochi. Like, I highly recommend you play it. Like, very highly recommend that game. Definitely a favorite game of mine, for sure. It'll make you cry. Been playing a lot of Okami lately. I just got that on Steam during sale. Nice! Did you ever play it on stream, or did you just play it offline? So I tried to understand what she said. She spread out the clothing in her hands in front of me.
似合うわよ、節美。え？私？
Oh, by the way, visual novel Steam sale on Monday. Ooh, nice!
いつもセーラー服だけどさ、こういうのも似合うだろうって思ってたのよ。ね、買ってあげようか？このワンピース。
Oh my god, One Piece reference? I'm just kidding.
遠慮しなくていいって、お姉さんからのプレゼントなんだから。
Aw. I don't want it. Would have been a lie. For someone who only had a single sailor uniform, it was a very tempting proposition.
姫子さんの服は
One Piece?
私は必要ないわ。だってこれがユニフォームだもん。
With that, she pointed at her own
だっ
pajamas.
たら。あら、別に私に合わせる人だってあなたはまだ選べるんだからさ。
Well, I wanted to reply, I swallowed my words. She spoke in her usual bright tone, but the words can still choose. I noticed the very heavy meaning in them.
やっぱり残念ね。絶対にまあ気が変わったら言って。いつ
After that, we wandered around in front of the station a while, ate ice cream together, and then headed back to the hospital. As we found similar clothes in other shops, she continued to say she'd buy them for me. In the end, I kept refusing. Oh yeah, but how did you like the Pink Girls route? Is it Miki? Miki. She seemed like such a cutie. Is there any way you've been... Oh, any vans you've been looking forward to doing but don't have yet? Yes. There's a Chaos Head or Chaos Noah, whatever one's for... I accidentally bought the sequel game forever ago. And so I have the sequel game, but I don't have the first game, and I heard that's a great game too, and I really want to play that. So that's one game. What is it? Valhalla? I don't know if that's a VN. Or not Val. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong game. The girl with, you know, the dark black-haired girl who looks cool. Fuck. My memory sucks. The daytime had been so hot and hazy. But now in this huge sky, the face of the moon peeked out. As usual, after eating dinner, I returned to my room and relaxed. What about you, Mochi? By the window, washed and drying on a hanger, was the sailor uniform. While gazing at it, I suddenly thought about the time I had gone to school. Right now my health was good, so one could forget, but in reality, I was someone who was admitted in and out of hospitals. Already, over 2 years have passed since I've been away from the place called school. In that time, I had once thought about wanting clothes other than pajamas. There wasn't even any pressure from such a need.
でも今日は少しだけ心が揺れた。
Maybe it would have been better had I admitted I wanted the clothes. But Himeko-san herself was stubbornly in pajamas, and being the only one to get new clothing made me feel bad. I thought it was a fun round, very wholesome. I'm just not a fan of the character archetype in general. We enjoyed it nonetheless. Oh, okay. Besides that, no matter where Himeko-san was in her pajamas, she was dignified. Compared to that, I always felt somehow sorry. Like I'm somehow doing something embarrassing. I can't help it. Or maybe Mother, who had stopped getting manicures and reddened her hands. Or Father, who continued the long commutes in the same suit. They saw me happily wearing cute clothing. Perhaps to both of them it would be a joyous thing. But that for me, I think would have been
ポテ
difficult.
トが嫌いということ以上に
The cicada screeched, and then a few days after, before I noticed, it was already entering mid-August. Nothing had particularly changed, and as always I was headed to Himeko-san's place.
Oh,
Hello! Oh, what's up, Mystic? How are you? Hearing a voice I recognized, I turned around and the girl I had met before was there.
確か姫子さんの
I'm good? Yay! Glad to hear.
妹の千尋です
As always, she spoke in a calm, well-mannered, gentle way. How's Narcissu? I really like it. I like how it's connecting a lot of things about how a lot of things Setsumi does in the first route is obviously because of this route right now. I can tell it's gonna be really painful when Himeko dies. Wait, so you read Route 1? Yes. We're on Narcissu 2 right now. We're on chapter, I'll show you what chapter we're on. We're on Catholic. This is where we're at right now. Side 2. Catholic, there we go. That was fast. I was about to say you did not read part 1, but you did. Oh, no, I definitely read part 1. That's where we started. Unlike Himeko-san, if she, Chihiro-san, were said to be a helper Catholic, one wouldn't be surprised. So what happened in part 1? Well, okay, I didn't realize we were a guy in part 1 until the very end. I thought we were just lesbians, and I was really happy about that. Anything about a silver coupe. Oh yeah, that tipped with the silver coupe so much. They love the word coupe. I thought it was really interesting. It was really sad. This whole game is really sad, but I think this game is really important because I'm gonna start crying because, like, oh, I'm crying because, like, this is reality for people, and it sucks, but it's reality, and these people are so important. And, like, I was saying, like, this game, like, really, like, makes me want to, like, once I learn how to drive, or like, live closer to a hospital, like, once I learn how to drive, I want to, like, visit these people and, like, try and cheer them up, or, like, if they don't have anyone visit them anymore, you know, I want to visit them. Yes, I also think it was a boy and girl in this coupe. Yeah, I thought it was 2 girls the whole time until it showed a picture of them where it was a guy and a girl, and I was like, oh? Because obviously Setsumi's a girl. You're such a pure soul. Aw, thank you. Yeah, living with a terminal illness is not easy. I know, it's not easy. I feel so bad for these people. Makes me really sad. This fan hit me pretty hard. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's really sad. But it happens so much, and you can't do anything about it. So you just have to make as many good memories as you can before they go. Because everyone dies. For whatever reason, we were put on this earth for some stupid fucking reason. I hate God. If God is real, I'm gonna fight that asshole. You don't understand how much I hate him. Like, holy fuck. Who made this book? Why does anything exist? Everything's pain. Everything sucks. Anyway, sorry. It's definitely a hard life. The most you can do is keep them in our thoughts, make sure that their life is as happy as it can be. Yeah, exactly. Never mind my God rant. Just excuse that. Well, that ran through me. That's what happens when I get emotional, okay? I remember that God, if there's I'm gonna get mad again. This shit always makes me so mad. I'm just emotional. I think Setsumi was happy with their journey in the Silver Coupe. Yeah, I agree. I think Setsumi was fulfilled and she had a good time, and man. Today, unlike the usual apron form seen at the hospital, she was in a white key one-piece dress that I thought was somehow her.
もしかしてこれから行くところ？千尋さんも。いえ、私は先に寄るところがあるから。あ、そうだ。もしよかったら節美さんも一緒に来る？あ、
I didn't know what was going on, but I continued walking behind Chihira-san. Excuse me, I have to blow my nose because I'm just so emotional. I have so many emotions, guys. Under the blazing sky, the two of us walked side by side along the street. Unlike Himeko-san, Chihira-san spoke rarely, but somehow she was a person with an air about her. Just from being with her, one could feel at ease. And then a little before the hospital, she turned and left intersection I normally didn't go. And at some point, as the area turned into a quiet residential neighborhood...
ほら、そこを曲がったところよ。
Final interview for what? Yesterday? Yesterday I had a third and final interview for a waitressing job I'm trying to get. I think it went pretty well. I don't know, Twitter post. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, yesterday I went and did this interview for like, it was like a 2-hour trial to see how you mesh with the place and stuff. I think it went pretty good. The rolling sound of bells, what had appeared before me was a large church. From long ago I knew there had been a church nearby, but this was the first I had ever come to it.
ちなみに隣の白い建物が私の家なの。
Saying that, what she pointed out was a pretty house that gave off a serene feeling. Trying to get into Walmart or Tractor Supply, trying to just be a stalker, one of those guys that moves the heavy stuff. Oh, since it's so you build up muscle and stuff? Muscle, I mean? I can't speak. Saying that, what she pointed out was a pretty house that gave off a serene feeling. Have you ever worked in a restaurant? Yeah, I have. I've been a waitress before. I worked at this place it was really weird. It served burgers and sushi. Apparently it was really good though. I mean, I can't eat either of those. I'm a vegetarian, but like, it was always pretty busy. Yeah, also just need to be more active in general. Yeah, I feel that. I'm about to slim down if I get a waitressing job because you have to walk so much. I worked at Burger King and Arby's. I never worked at either of those places ever again. Damn. Is it really that bad to work at those places? I've applied to them and I haven't gotten in. The tall ivy-covered fence gave off a western atmosphere. It was probably obvious, but this being Chihiro-san's home meant that it was also Himeko-san's home. And then following her urgings, I stepped into the church. The first church I'd entered, streaming from the windows, dazzling bright and light, and vivid colored stained glass. It was the first time I'd visited here, and felt it was very beautiful, peaceful. Was that the word? The polar opposite of glaring gaudiness might have felt like this.
誰も人がいないね。
I was at Arby's for like 5 years alone. Damn. The mental stress is too much? Oh, really? Dang. Well, you have an impressive resume then.
この時間は誰も来ないから。
Having a job for that long, is gonna look so good on your resume. With just that answer, Chihiro-san approached what looked like the altar. Then from her pocket, she took out what resembled Buddhist prayer beads. Quietly brought her hands together. Was this that thing called prayer? Yes, that's me. That's what praying looks like. On TV, I've seen that fingers were folded together, but this is like praying at temple on New Year's, just hands brought together. And the thing she took out of her pocket, at first I thought they were Buddhist beads, but looking at it carefully, it was a rosary. To me, everything was so fresh and new. This was, of course, the first time I'd seen any of this.
ねえ、あなたも一緒に祈らない？
No. Himeno family is religious? Yes, indeed, they are.
私がいいの？
no, fuck no, I'm not gonna pray! Oh, that pisses me off. I get mad because I was just ranting about God.
別に祈りを捧げるのに資格
Her
はい
name
ら
is
ないから。
Himeno, right? I think it's Himeko. Himeko's gotta be here somewhere. Yeah, it's Himeko. Here it is. Himeko.
でも何を祈ればいい？それは人それぞれ。ご自由に。
So then bringing her hands together, Chihiro-san quietly closed her eyes. Imitating her, I put my hands together in the same way. In the soundless place, closing my eyes, I felt everything dissolve into nothingness. However, I felt it wasn't a fear-instilling dark and emptiness, but a clear white that spread everywhere. and she volunteers at the hospital. So Himeko volunteered at the hospital a while ago, but then quit and is also not religious. And her little sister Chihiro is very religious and has been volunteering at the hospital for a bit. So yeah. Let me just do something really quick. Okay, Himeko is the sick one. And Chihiro is Himeko's sister. Yeah. Setsumi looks up to her. I don't know about that. She thinks it's admirable to be a helper. Have you not played? Has it been a minute since you played this Mystic? Is that why? But what in the world should I pray for, I wonder? Chihiro-san said that I was free to choose, but for me, finding what I should be praying for was difficult. Next to myself, I could hear the small whispers of Chihiro-san's voice, so small I couldn't make out the words. But I definitely felt she was praying for Himeko-san. By that so very serious praying figure, I felt my deduction couldn't be that far off. Once again, my eyes opened after some time. Well, just 30 seconds worth. When I looked next to me, Chihiro-san also seemed to be finishing up her praying. I actually did not finish reading part 2. Oh, okay. Well, Mystic, I'm uploading all this to my YouTube, so, if you wanna watch where you left off playing, you can do that, but no pressure to, or you can just finish reading it yourself.
そうよ。まあ、カトリックの人ってのは変な表現だけどね。じゃあお姉さんは、姫子さんは違うの。お姉ちゃんはエセカトリックだとか言って否定しているけど、でも私が知る限り、とても敬虔なクリスチャンよ。
In her usual kind way of speaking, she answered. From the Himeko-san that I knew, I couldn't imagine it, but other than the younger sister, Chihiro-san said so. It must be as she said.
じゃあ出ましょうか。
One sec. I'm gonna do something really quick. Okay, thank you for waiting. Chihiro-san walked towards the entrance that we had come from. When I walked after the same way, suddenly her feet stopped and she turned around.
あ、そうだ。節美さん、こっち向いて。
I wondered what she was going to do. She once again placed her hands
あ
together.
なたの上に主の豊かな恵みと祝福がありますように。私のために。もちろん私は司祭様じゃないから気持ちだけだけどね。
After that, we left the church and parked in front of the hospital. For me, it had been new
教
experiences.
会やカトリックのことは
All I knew is that I had reconfirmed that Chihiro-san was a very kind and good person. And also Himeko-san, that acted so coldly to her, was apparently a devoted Catholic like her. Slightly late, I came to the usual place. For some reason, I couldn't find Himeko-san in the hospital room, or even in the lounge. I wonder where she went. If you're looking for Himeko-san, she's in the courtyard. They appeared around, a nurse passing by spoke to me. Tatsu, tell her not to overdo things.
わかった。
I think I listened to Narcissu soundtrack every day for a long time after this game, just to feel something. When I looked, Himeko-san was in the middle of watering flowers.
おはよう、節美。今日も暑いわね。
As she spoke, she held a hose in one hand and was spraying the flowers with vigor. However, her outfit was the usual pajamas and slippers. It's been so long since I've made an AMV. Sorry, I couldn't read that for a second. So an AMV, the last one was 2 years ago. Are you making one right now? That image was oddly comical but mysteriously seemed just like Himeko-san. What's an AMV? An animated music video. That image was oddly comical but mysteriously seemed just like Himeko-san. To that Himeko-san, I pointed to the place we planted bulbs the other day.
もう芽が出てくるの。そんなに早くは無理よ。
Then she showed me a carefree smile. She had been called a devoted Catholic, but for her to have an aunt like Chihiro sounded praying in the church, at least to me, was unimaginable.
ここはこうや。
No, not right now. It's just something I was thinking
だから花が
about.
咲くのよ。
Haven't had any inspiration to lately. Oh, okay.
盛んに花を咲かせ、喜び喜んで歌う。知ってる？イザヤ書の言葉よ。
Shook my head. I don't really know, but it was probably some kind of scripture. Just now, I was having that thought. Himeko-san's sudden words surprised me. And then while I was thinking about that, yeah, it's hot today, isn't it? From somewhere came a nurse. Someone I hadn't seen before. It seemed like someone from a floor I didn't know. Thank you very much,
あ
Himeko-san.
あ、ついでに他の花にも水あげといたから。
So which is better? I was thinking of taking some.
なんかよ。
Third floor's X-ray waiting.
じゃあ、鉢植えでもいいわね。
As she spoke, she scooped out a number of yellow and white pansies and moved them to a plastic bag. Thank you very much. I'll be going then. Taking the plastic bag into her hands, the nurse disappeared into the building, and once more. On leaving, her hands made a cross. Maybe the nurse was also a Catholic? I didn't really understand it, but it seems that this flower bed Himeko-san could plant and pick as she pleased. I believe Narcissu's residence on the 7th floor because in this hospital she was well known.
今の看護婦さんも知り。ええ、他にも知り合いは大勢いるわよ。
Being a former helper I had heard about, but did this come from just that alone? Thinking about how this was a Christian hospital, and then how she had been called a devoted Catholic earlier, I had a feeling there was a link.
何よ、その不思議そうな顔は。え、別に何か権限をもらってるわけじゃないわよ。私は元ヘルパー。今は7階の住人。ただ、ちょっとキャリアが長かったから、それなりに顔が利くって程度よ。
She added that while she was my age, she had come in and out of here often. From those words, having a long career didn't simply mean being a helper. Now that she mentioned it, she had once said that Catholics were involved in various public welfare activities. Looking at it like that, it was probably just as Chihiro-san had said. Himeko-san might be a devout
どうした
Christian.
の？まだなんか聞きたいの？どうして姫子さんはお祈りとかしないの？お祈り？この私が？だって敬虔なクリスチャンな。そうね。エセカトリックが気に入らない元クリスチャンでもいいわよ。
That would mean that in the past it was true, but now it
じ
wasn't.
ゃあもうお祈りすることはないの？ないわ。
Her
ついでに言わせてもらうとさ、祈りがあるってことは呪いもあるってことだと思わない？
I didn't really get it, being suddenly asked such a question. I couldn't gather my thoughts. And there was the problem that I didn't know the difference between prayers and curses.
それよりも明日行こうと思うんだけど。ほら、この前は無理だったでしょ？
Did she mean the thing about the pineapple tree? In the end, we went to just before the station that day and gave up and came back. She said we had to go again at a later date.
でもどうやって行く？大丈夫だって。お姉さんに任せなさい。とりあえずせっかくだからお弁当忘れないようにね。
As the sun was slowly setting, once again today, the two of us sat around the dinner table. I can't beat this stupid cooking minigame on Nikki. My brain can't move that fast. Because tomorrow I was going to go out with Himeko-san. I tried asking for lunch for two. However, even though my health had been good lately, if mother said no, I was planning on giving up on the
やっ
idea.
ぱりダメ。
もうそんなわけないでしょ。お母さん張り切って作ってあげるわよ。
Aw, her mom's so sweet. I need to get you on the Nikki addiction, it's real. Is it a... Can you play it on PC?
そのお友達の姫子さんって何か苦手なものあるのかしら。
ブロッコリー。
わかったわ。じゃあそれは入れないようにしてと。そうそう、今度よかったらうちにも遊びに来てもらいなさいよ。
うん。
You sure can. Alright, well... Maybe after this we'll look into it and see if we like it. But is there ways to get free rolls and stuff though, or is it a very pay to win game? Because I can't do pay to win right now. Falling back onto the bed, I let out a big sigh. I'm sure that mother thinks that Himeko-san was a normal hospital patient or a nurse. At the least she wasn't thinking that it was someone from the 7th floor. The fries were like this. Himeko-san was also like this. The happier mother got.
私は心苦しかった。これが罪悪感と呼ばれるものだろうか。
Ooh. I think we're on the last one. At a slightly earlier time than usual, I headed to the hospital. Or how much? I don't know how many chapters are. The lunch is in the tote bag in my hand number 2. Since it was hot, mother also prepared a frozen water bottle for me. Let me grab a snack though, I'll be right back. I wasn't sure how far we were going, but I was pretty sure she spoke about going all the way to the ocean before. Well, time for suicide. It's not pay to win in my opinion, but you gotta be patient when it comes to grinding because it's daily based grinding rather than just doing it all at once. Yeah, you get some free pulls in the beginning and every event always gives you a chance to get the free recruit. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll try it after this then.
千尋さん。実は探していたの。
From her pocket, she took something out and offered it to me.
これお姉ちゃんに渡してもらえるかな。キー。
What I accepted was a shining silver key.
もしかして車の？うん。裏の駐車場に止めてるって言えばわかると思うから。じゃあお願いね。
Ooh, I just got a text. Oh my god, guys. I got a text from the place I interviewed at, and they said, "Hi, Bunny, good job on your trial. Are you free on Wednesday for orientation?" And I'm saying, heck yeah! Nice on Star Honkai Star Rail. I need to feel my gotcha. Yes, Star Rail is so fun. Text type. Let's go. I know. Oh, hold on. They're responding. Those words. Once again, Chihiro rushed off somewhere. Bunny moving up in the world. Yay. Let's do noon. Okay. Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much. couldn't be. I didn't think she was planning on going on car, but... Or maybe there was someone else to drive. So I wondered about it. I went to Himeko-san as I was told. Ding. Peeking into the lounge and seeing that she wasn't there, I headed to the hospital room. Knock knock, click.
おはよう。今日は早いわね。そう言われてたから。あとこれ渡してくれって。
As I answered, I showed her the key I was given earlier.
ありがとう。じゃあ行きましょうか。
Oh my god, they said... Guess what else they said? Is there a certain character I should be pulling for? It doesn't matter. Okay, well... Okay, so right now there's a banner out with... Blade. And he's really hot and he's good. But there's a banner that's about to come out with Mommy Kafka. She's a hottie. And so maybe you want to wait to pull for her. She's coming out in like a week. So, I think you would like Mommy Kafka more. And she's in the beginning story a little bit too, so you'll be familiar with who she is. Mommy say less. Yep. She is hottie. Yeah, look up Kafka Star Rail and you'll see she's a hottie. As if it were perfectly natural, Himeko-san took the key. Was she really planning on going by car? What did they say? I think I cut you off. Oh, they said, also thinking of maybe having your first official day that night if you're down. And I was like, I'm definitely up for that. Like, yeah, I would love to have my first day. What the heck? We came to the parking lot. Since it was just the time in the morning when the outpatients came in, the area near the entrance was packed with cars. And then walking a while in the parking lot as if we came to the farthest part.
久しぶりね。
Actual hype. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited, guys. She stopped in front of one car, a red-colored open top. However, that car was, as far as I could see, made for two. At that point, the theory that there was some other driver vanished.
どう？いい車でしょ。そんなことより、車に乗っていいの？法的にはね。
That wasn't what I meant, though.
危ないわよ。事故ればね。もう大丈夫だって分かってるから。
大丈夫。
これでも自分の体のことは自分が一番よく分かってるって。
You guys mind if I go grab water really quick? I'm really thirsty. I'll be right back. I need to rehydrate after crying so much. Sorry, I'm back. Okay. But even if you say that, I don't know how much trust I can put
あの
in.
ね、私だって本当に危ないと思ってたら乗らないわよ。本当に？ええ。道路は私一人で走ってるわけじゃないんだからさ。
Slam. And after saying that, Himeko-san quickly got into the car.
で、どうするのよ。シートが片側空いているんだけど。
Alright, already. Raising a light engine noise, the red open top started running. Moving from the usual familiar street past the neighborhood supermarket I occasionally went to. Passing 3 intersections. In moments, we suddenly went onto a large road. But I wonder just where in the world she's planning on going. Before, she said that it was about 2 hours by train, so I think it'd be quite a distance, but... So I saw that I sat next to her and stared at the view.
ああ、ごめん、揺れた？うん、ちょっと。少し辛抱してね。運転久しぶりだから勘を取り戻すまで。
Before I came to that, I thought her driving felt rough. In reality, she probably wasn't going that fast, but maybe because there's no roof, even the slightest swerve was extremely scary.
ねえ、もうちょっと。なんか言った？なんでもないわよ。
So I just silently gripped the seatbelt tight. My hair was going to be a disaster from the wind, but I'll live with that. Already, sight of me desperately gripping the seatbelt with both hands might have been a bit ridiculous looking.
あれ？説明何やってるの？私のことは。
Around one, if you looked around, the scenery was changing from being in the city to beautiful green. Himeko-san had finally regained her driving sense, or maybe I was the one who had gotten used to that driving. In either case, it got to the point where we could calmly talk.
どう？オープンも悪くないでしょう。うん。風が気持ちいい。そうそう。この自然との一体感がいいのよね。
Certainly, I hadn't thought so in the city. However, here in the middle of this natural place, it felt very liberating and nice. And even as we spoke about this, cars driving in the next lane were constantly passing us. I had originally thought Himeko-san's driving was scary, but it seemed that she really was driving safely.
これ、なんて車？あら、車に興味あるの？別に、そういうわけじゃないけど。
There's any deep meaning behind the question, just for no real reason I wanted to know.
ユーノス、ロードスターよ。
Oh.
もしかして、すごい車なの？そんなに驚くほどじゃないわ。ただ、私が好きってだけで、エアコンもナビもない、古臭い車よ。
And then Himeko-san taught me many things about the car. How it was the first generation NA model, what the power ratio was. She continued talking as best she could about technical things.
86に抜かれた。
As she spoke, she pointed at one car passing in the next
あ
lane.
いつに抜かれるとなぜか悔しいのよね。
And then Himeko-san continued on about midship layouts and rotary engines, always passionately talking about these mysterious things. Oh wait, sorry, I just was responding to them again. The Mons, that was some kind of distort, I think. Of course, for me, I had no clue about any of this stuff. But the fact, I don't know why that's so funny. Reminds me of how I used to type in middle school. That Himeko-san really loved cars, that made itself even clearer even to me.
でも変ね。何が？思ってたよりしっかり走るわ。長い間ほったらかしだった割にはね。
The roadster continued on, its red hood reflecting in the summer sky as it ran. And when, if you looked up, the sun that had been behind us was coming right out overhead. We passed through the long, long mountain road, and then before our eyes spread the sea.
どう？いい景色でしょ。
The shoreline that continued endlessly, summer sunlight that sparkled and reflected off the emerald waves. Far away swaying pine groves, distant voices of seagulls, and then what could be seen along the sides of the road were many phoenix palms. Himeko-san said they were apparently pineapple trees. As she had mentioned before, each and every one of them was big.
ここが
目的地。
ええ、もう間もなくよ。少し行ったところに路中できる場所あるから。
Don't mind me watching Fairy Mochi at the same time. Is Mochi streaming right now too? Or just, you mean watching him in chat?
はい、着いたわよ。
Well, it's always good to have you, Golden. Finally, I've nearly uploaded every Steinsgate VOD, just waiting on the last one to process. Nice! I'm streaming right now? I don't know, are you? That's quite the surprise. I don't know, are you? He said he was watching you and me, so I was like, oh, maybe he's streaming too. I'm watching a VOD. Oh, makes sense. Along the road, running parallel to the seat, was a shoulder that seemed to be for emergency stopping. There was the space for 2 or 3 cars to stop, but since there was no traffic, it wasn't likely that another car would come. Stopping the car in that place, we got out of the car.
ねえ、缶ジュース何がいい？
レモンティー。
了解。ちょっと待っててね。はい、お待たせ。
Mixed with the crashing of the waves, the quick sound of pull tabs rang out. Thought there was an imposter emoji for a sec. OMG, Mochi, do you ever play Among Us? Cause I just knocked something over! Oh, sorry. Anyways, because I love Among Us, but I never have enough people to play. I want to watch it. Honestly, so real for watching VODs. I never watch VODs. And you mean you don't watch all my VODs, Mochi? I can't believe this. I can't believe this. How could you? Among Us. And then Himeko-san facing the sea with a hand on her hip.
おいしい。
I'm doing my paid job in clipping boss. As if coming out of the bath and drinking a milk, she gulped on the orange juice in one go. That's so cool of you, Golden, that you go through the VODs and look for clips. And for no real reason, I put my hand on my hip and tried gulping down the lemon tea in one go. Why can't I read that? Oh, it says I'd love to play Sussy Among Us with you. Yay! Not actually paid. I pay you in kindness. Yeah, if we can get enough people, Mochi, that would be so fucking fun. And for no real reason, I also put my... Oh, I already read that. Whoops. I need to erase that. Then we walked towards the sea spread out before our eyes.
ここは綺麗なところね。
Oh, I mean, click
え
that.
え、私のちょっとしたお気に入りスポットかな。
以前にもよく来ていたの。
そうでもないけど、たまにはね。もともとは偶然発見したんだけどさ。
You heard me.
偶然。
だってほら、あの車ってナビないでしょ。だから最初は適当に走ってて着いたのよ。
As she answered, her face was just a little different from usual. It was somehow lonely, somehow nostalgic, and a complicated kind of face.
さてと、それよりも目的があったわね。
Just as what she said registered, she began rummaging through the trunk of the car. Then, taking out a small saw-like object, she started walking towards a large phoenix palm by the roadside. Did she really mean to cut one?
ねえ。それは何よ。
あら、弓の子って知らない？本来は金属切断用だけど、よく切れるのよ。
そうじゃなくて、何をするつもり？
もちろん切るのよ。ちょびっと5センチくらい。
As she spoke, she placed the hacksaw against the phoenix palm. I had a feeling it was better to stop, but I didn't know just how serious Himeko-san herself was. Or maybe it's just 5 centimeters. Does it matter so much? As I worried about these things alone.
やっぱり
Saying that, she once again returned to the hacksaw to the trunk of the car. Phew, she decided to give up, or had she not been serious from the start?
まだ人目があるから、もう少し暗くなってからにするわ。
So it's not like she gave up at all. Burning sunlight, moist sea breeze, and the scent of the ocean. Once in a while, a number of seagulls came close. On that kind of beach, the two of us started a late lunch.
あなたのお母さん料理うまいわね。
今日のは特に頑張ってくれたから。
そう、いいお母さんね。
うん。
Speaking about these things, we ate our lunch. Sitting upon the sheet Himeko-san prepared, it was a lunch party where the two of us put on straw hats to keep off the sun. Almost like pigeons in a park. When we gave the seagulls, Umineko reference? Crumbled croquets, they fiercely snapped them up. Mochi, what game are you gonna play after Love? Are you gonna play Umineko or a different game? Looking at the silly figures, the two of us laughed. This feeling, how long has it been? I couldn't help but think about
どう
that.
やらまだ好きだと思っているようね。
I'm thinking Fate. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, Fate is good too. Saber is such a waifu as the most likely candidate. Nice. Saber is such a waifu, and so is Ryder. Oh my god, Ryder's so hot! Oh, that woman is hot, but it's like Saber's my wife, but Ryder's fucking hot. Those words, I couldn't help but fall silent. She had said it wasn't kindness. In other words, it probably meant that if I don't like them, there was kindness in saying so. Even I understood that. But reddening her hands, doing it for me. In front of such a happy mother, to say that sort of thing, knowing just how sad it would make her. It was because I even knew that much. Pat. Huh? When I looked, Himeko-san was gently patting me on the back. As if calming a crying child, she continued to pat my back.
しょうがないわよ。口で言うほど簡単じゃないからね。
姫子さん。
そうね。いつかちゃんと言える。
うん。
あのね、すごく難しいことだけど。
Do you also need to finish Danganronpa and need to start Umineko? Do Danganronpa is the best.
実はわがまま言いまくりでちょうどいいのかもよ。
Saying that, she gave me a smile. With her usual cheery face, she gently encouraged me.